Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Ross Memorial Park today on the PAC Sports Network. It is day 2 of the PAC Baseball Championships, as in our broadcast opener for day 2, it's the W&J Presidents against the Thomas More Saints. I'm Randy Gore along with Justin Pyles for today's games and also throughout the duration of this PAC tournament. And what we saw in day 1 were 2 impressive victories for Thomas More W&J. The Saints beating Teal 14-1, W&J beating the St. Vincent Bearcats 14-3. So both putting up a couple of touchdowns, if you will, in their wins. The offensive lineups looking pretty strong for both teams, and it'll be interesting to see what plays out here today in this contest to begin the afternoon.
Yeah, both games kind of similar. Started out a little bit slow. We looked like we were in for a couple of pitchers' duels, and then kind of exploded. Each team took advantage of their opponent's miscues, and then once the floodgates opened, they really just started rolling with the bats. Both using big innings, big rallies. W&J with a huge 2-out rally to put up a 9 spot in the 6th inning of their game against St. Vincent. And on the other end, both getting pretty good pitching performances. We saw Paul Ewell from Thomas More go with a complete game, giving up just 1 run yesterday. And Eddie Nogay worked 7 strong to pick up the win for the Presidents. So both teams, strong offensive showings, great pitching performances. And what's big in a tournament that focuses on pitching, they have their bullpens more or less still intact.
Yeah, but just about everybody at the disposal for both of these two teams' head coaches, and we'll talk a little bit more about that and also give you the starting lineups when we come back. But the folks here at Ross Memorial Park set for the national anthem, so we're going to pause for a break, and when we return, we'll have the starting lineups for both teams, and again, the opening pitch, day 2 of the PAC Baseball Championships coming up on the PAC Sports Network.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just-for-guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this.
There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help. Call us at 1-877-889-0965. That number, 877-889-0965. Or visit us online at triple.com and on Facebook.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAt Productions. TimeAt Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeatproductions.com.
And welcome back to Ross Memorial Park, the host site for the 2013 PAC Baseball Championships. And we have W&J against Thomas More in Game 1 of Day 2 of the tournament. And the W&J Presidents, they will serve as the road team in this contest, despite this being their regular home field. That's by NCAA rules, the way it's all drawn up in tournament fashion. So Thomas More will hit in the bottom of innings, and taking the mound for the top of the first for the Thomas More Saints is Grant Lewis. And the starting lineup he'll face for the W&J Presidents will look like this. Leading off and playing second base is Scott Liller. Back in the lineup today, despite a wrist injury, is DJ Mahalski. We'll talk more about that. He's the designated hitter today, hitting second. Josh Stanish hits third. He'll play right field. Catching is Ronnie Parrish. He'll be in the cleanup spot. Hitting fifth is Kyle McLean out at third base. At first base is Tyler Schultz hitting sixth. Batting seventh is Derek McIlvain. He'll play left field. In center field is Scott Brady. He hits eighth. And batting ninth is Michael Ruffing, the shortstop, in front of W&J starting pitcher Brian O'Neill. For the Presidents, Liller, Mahalski, Stanish, Parrish, McLean, Schultz, McIlvain, Brady, and Ruffing. And very quickly for the Thomas More Saints, their batting order. Shortstop, David Kennett leads off. Batting second is left fielder Jason Handley. And right is Ryan Darner. He'll hit third. Cody Macon in the cleanup spot out in center field. At first base, Craig Heisen hits fifth. Batting sixth is Travis Miller at third base. Designated hitter David Etchide hits seventh. Hitting eighth is Marcus Wolfel. He'll play second base. And the catcher is Brad Popham. And once again, the starting pitcher for the Saints is Grant Lewis. Once more for the Saints, their batting order: Kennett, Handley, Darner, Macon, Heisen, Miller, Etchide, Wolfel, and Popham. Scott Liller will make his way toward home plate. Give you the totals this year on Grant Lewis. This will be his 11th appearance and 8th start of this season. He's 5-1 with a 2.72 ERA in 49 2/3 innings. He's allowed 63 hits, 23 runs, 15 earned, 8 walks, and 36 strikeouts. And Lewis, the southpaw, with the wind of the pitch. Liller shows bunt, pulls back, it takes strike one. So we're underway here in day two. And as we were talking about in our pregame, because of the performances, not just by the batting order, but because of the starters yesterday, just about everybody at the disposal for these two coaches, Jeff Mountain for W&J and also the Thomas More skipper. And Jeff Hetzer, as the 0-2 was fouled off down the right field side. 0-2 the count here on Liller. Liller hitting .341, no homers, 10 RBIs on the year. Right-handed hitting second baseman for the Presidents. The 0-2 pitch, and this one up high, check swing by Liller, lays off, 1-2. But you have to like the performances yesterday by the two starters, Eddie Nogue for the Presidents and Paul Yule for Thomas More, because it leaves just about everybody in the bullpen available here this afternoon. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss by Liller on a good curveball from Grant Lewis, and it's one out here in the first inning.
That ball running in from the lefty Lewis to the righty Liller. Liller swinging over top as that ball dipped and dove in underneath his hands, so he'll be the first out of the ball game. And you're right, Randy. Pitching depth is so key, and that's one thing that Coach Hetzer was talking about yesterday. He wants to have his starters go, 5, 6, 7 innings. And of course, 9 innings is great when you get a complete game like you got from Paul Yule yesterday, but you're looking for some kind of depth in that, especially early on in the tournament, to where you don't have to have an all-hands-on-deck type of ball game early, and you're free to make moves as you go through the tournament like you normally would.
0-1 pitch, DJ Mahalski takes low and in ball one. Mahalski with his left wrist taped up, and we talked with Jeff Mountain of the Presidents, their head coach, yesterday, and he said that Mahalski would likely be out for the tournament and possibly for the season. Well, here he is in day two with that wrist taped up, and he hits a little roller right side of the infield. Moving to it is Craig Heisen at first, and he'll flip late over at the first base bag. Back to pitcher Lewis, beating it out. Infield single, it's DJ Mahalski.
Yeah, I guess being out for the season meant out for one day, and now he's back getting on base. Not the typical build for a number 2 hitter, but he is very patient at the plate, showed good speed there, and got a good eye for baseball. He can spray it all over the field.
Leads the conference in on-base percentage, and that's why Jeff Mountain was eager to get him back. They waited in delivering their starting lineup today to the last moment, and just waiting to see whether Mahalski could be ready to go. He's in the lineup as the DH, and the next batter, Josh Stanish, with a lace line drive into center field, base knock. Runners at first and second for the Presidents in the top of the first scoreless game.
Now that ball up in the zone. Stanish wasted no time, not taking any pitches. First pitch he saw, back up the middle, and W&J immediately 2 base runners on with 1 out. And the cleanup hitter spot due up.
Ronnie Parrish is that cleanup man. A .307 hitter, team leader in doubles, triples, homers, and RBIs. Has a couple of home runs and 36 ribbies on the year. Also 9 2-base hits and 4 triples. Runners at first and second with 1 out in the top of the first. Presidents playing as the visitors on their regular home field at Ross Memorial Park. Trying to strike first in this Day 2 action and a ground ball through the left side of the infield for Parrish at a base hit. So once again, first pitch swinging, and this will load up the bases as Mahalski held at third. Of course, that ball was rolled very quickly through the left side, so no chance to send Mahalski. Bases are filled for Kyle McLean.
That might be the scouting report of W&J against Grant Lewis. They know that he's going to throw strikes. Why wait around? Let's go ahead and hit that first good pitch we see. And Parrish got another pitch he could handle similar to Stanish's, just roped it through that left side. Hit that one a little too hard. Got out there to the left fielder, handled a little too quickly, so Mahalski forced to hold at third, and now bases full of Presidents.
Kyle McLean with the bases loaded. He is first pitch swinging, but rolls one into the Thomas Moore dugout on the third base side. Strike one. Kyle McLean this year hitting .311, 1 homer and 33 RBIs. However, his 1 home run is a grand slam. And with the bases loaded here in the first inning, Grant Lewis deals. The southpaw jams McLean. This is a soft pop that will eventually get out of play out toward the locker room area. The third baseman, Travis Miller, ranging over to take a look, but obviously beyond his reach over the fence. And now Lewis out in front here on McLean, 0-2.
Yeah, 500 hitter during the season, 5 for 10 with bases loaded. Looking for another opportunity here to drive in some runs. Great opportunity to strike first for the Presidents. They did not strike first yesterday in their game against St. Vincent, but were able to overcome an early deficit.
0-2 pitch. McLean hits this one well to left center. Ranging back, Cody Macon will make the catch. Tagging from third, Mahalski. He will score 1-0. W&J sacrifice fly for Kyle McLean.
A nice piece of hitting by McLean, especially being down in the count 0-2. Able to get enough of a bat on it to fly that ball out to medium depth center field, making no shot at catching Mahalski at home, so he just tossed that one in towards third base. The other 2 runners had to hold, and the Presidents strike first.
Tyler Schultz stands in next. Schultz, a .327 hitter, 1 home run, 25 RBIs. As Grant Lewis tries to wiggle his way out of this jam. And he'll spin off the mound and look the runner Stanish back to second base. He's well aware of the President's ability to run, and with Stanish, the ultra-fast base runner at second, keeping his eye on him. 1-0 W&J thanks to that sac fly by McLean. As Lewis double takes the runner at second, brings to the plate. Schultz watches ball 1. A bit high, perhaps outside a tad. Ball 1 here on Schultz. Right-handed hitting first baseman with Mahalski nursing that wrist injury. Mentioned he's the DH, so typically Mahalski plays first base, but you're not going to see that with him nursing that injury. So Tyler Schultz at first base defensively. He takes outside ball 2. So the Presidents strike first today, leading 1-0. But if you're Grant Lewis out of a bases loaded situation, you'll take a 1-0 deficit out of that. Not giving up any more if he can get the out here. 2-0, jams the batter in on the fist. This one bounced toward the W&J dugout area.
Yeah, and their big inning yesterday, W&J scoring 9 runs in the 6th. 5 of those came with 2 outs. So just because there are 2 outs and it looks like all the damage could be over, you never want to take that 3rd out for granted. That bear down here and get Tyler Schultz.
Lefty Grant Lewis again looks back at Stanish at second, brings the 2-1 pitch, ground ball left side, and a foul ball up the third base line.
Ball had some strange spin on it as it hit that dirt cutout. It actually came back fair. It didn't quite cross that foul line, but came back towards fair territory. It was foul by about a foot or so. If he hits that one a little closer to the bag, it's been an interesting call.
A little backspin on that roller. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on, 1-0 W&J, top of the first inning. Lewis again double takes Stanish, brings to the plate, 2-2 swing and a miss. And that will end the inning. Pitch was in the dirt, but with runners at first and second, that'll end the frame. Tyler Schultz, the second strikeout of the inning for Grant Lewis, and the final out of the frame. W&J scores 1 run on 3 hits, sac fly for Kyle McLean. Score after the top of the first. W&J 1, Thomas Moore coming to bat. You are listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
The Washington Wild Things open a brand new season of Frontier League Baseball on May 17th and play their home opener on Friday, May 24th, when the Wild Things welcome the Southern Illinois Miners to Consol Energy Park. The 2013 season boasts plenty of fun for the family, including Thirsty Thursdays, fireworks on Fridays, and special giveaways throughout the summer. Not to mention the Frontier League All-Star Game on July 17th. For tickets, call 866-456-WILD. That's 866-456-WILD.
Vigigroup, a multifaceted graphic designs company that has been producing great designs since 1999, offering creative services like branding, new media, illustration, exhibitions, advertising, direct mail, and annual reports. Everything Vigigroup does is focused on producing outstanding design and service. For a design consultation, email Vigigroup at info@vigigroup.net. Good things come in small packages, and we do big things.
Welcome back to Ross Memorial Park. It's 1-0 W&J over the Thomas More Saints. Saints will bat for the first time today. David Kennett, Jason Hanley, and Ryan Darner. For the Saints, against W&J's starting pitcher today, Brian O'Neill. Totals on O'Neill this season. He's 5-2 with a 4.18 ERA and 11 appearances. Has made 10 starts, 3 complete games with 1 complete game shutout. In 56 innings, O'Neill has allowed 63 hits, 33 runs, 26 earned, with 17 walks and 53 strikeouts. O'Neill, a right-hander for W&J, wearing the road grays today. Thomas More in their royal blue uniform tops. And first pitch to David Kennett is a called strike. Our home plate umpire today is Chris Stump. First base umpire Ron Whiting Jr., Jeremy Stangelo at second base, and the third base umpire is Brad Swanson. Kennett goes after the 0-1, pops this one high down the right field line. Long run for Schultz. It's beyond his reach. Did bound in play up against the fence, but would have been a great over-the-shoulder effort had Schultz been closer to it. So it's strike 2 on Kennett. His first batter in this bottom of the first inning. Saints trailing 1-0.
I kind of like the look of both of these uniforms. The gray with the red numbers and letters for W&J looks good, and then the Saints with that bright blue top. Different kind of lettering, Saints across the chest, but still looks good. Looks sharp out here. Good contrast between the two teams.
Which is the knob of the bat. Kennett really just trying to protect his head area, kind of bailed out, and as it so happens, catches the knob of the bat.
Probably a good thing that hit the knob of the bat. That was running in on him up high. That probably catches him chest area, maybe even a little bit higher up towards the neck or face. Doesn't go off the knob or the very end of the handle. Chokes up a little bit on that bat.
So results in a foul ball at the home plate area, 1-2. And a fly ball into shallow right. Stanish with a diving catch for the Presidents. 1 away.
A little sinking line drive to right field. Stanish, good read on that ball. Hustling in. He's got good speed and nice sliding catch. Kennett's been tough to retire, especially, yesterday. He went 3 for 5 in the first game, 3 RBIs. So W&J well advised to keep him off the bases.
In the first inning last night, Stanish made a diving catch to retire Nick Beamendorfer. This time a first inning catch retires Kennett, but first pitch to Jason Hanley, stroked up the middle for a base hit. 1-out single for Hanley. Hanley hitting .310 before that base knock. And that'll send up Ryan Darner. Darner, second in the conference in runs scored with 39, tied for third in home runs. 5 long balls this year. He's tied with Cody Macon in that stat category, who waits on deck. Pitch to Darner is a called strike.
And not a couple of batters you want to mess around with too much over the heart of the plate. Darner and Macon make you pay. Hit it out. They'll find a gap. They know how to drive in runs. Both of them over 40 RBIs this year.
From the stretch now, O'Neill, the right-hander. Peeks over his left shoulder, and now will turn and throw over to first base. First baseman Schultz holding the runner on, Handley. Defensive alignment for the Presidents, Ronnie Parrish catching, Schultz at first, Scott Liller at second, Michael Ruffing at short, Kyle McLean at third. We'll give you the outfield in just a moment as the 0-1 pitch comes in. Breaking ball, fly ball, hit hard on the line to left, but to his left, Derek McIlvain makes the catch. 2 away. McIlvain, your left fielder, Scott Brady at center, and Josh Stanish in right.
Yeah, he knew that was going to be where you were going next, left field, so Darner decided to help you out. Line drive, hit it right on the screws, but more or less right at McIlvain. Had to range a little bit to his left, but That's over a little bit more. That's in the gap.
Presidents leading 1-0. Thomas More with a runner on at first, 2 outs, and Cody Macon, first pitch swinging, fouls it away, strike one. Well, every team, or both teams, I should say, so far here in the first inning, they come up, get their cuts in early in these at-bats.
Yeah, swinging the bats well. W&J 3 hits in the top of the first, and Thomas More 1. Could have been more if the placement had been a little better. It's not that they're not hitting the ball hard enough. It's just hitting a couple right at the outfielders, corner outfielders. Stanish made that nice play a moment ago, and then that one on a rope right out to McIlvain.
Cody Macon batting .336, takes a fastball outside, ball 1. Macon 14 doubles, leads the Saints in that category. Also the conference leader in RBIs with 45. So big-time run producer here, left-handed hitter. And center fielder for Thomas More. With a runner at first, Jason Hadley. Brian O'Neill from the stretch delivers, and the fastball fouled straight back. Runner was off on the pitch, but he'll have to return as they count 1-2.
The wind has been blowing out here pretty much since we arrived here. It was blowing out towards right field. Now it's kind of taken more of a center, even a left center look. Difference between yesterday where the wind was primarily blowing in.
O'Neill with the pause of the 1-2. Fastball, swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt. And Macon will hustle over to first base as Ronnie Parrish had to go all the way back toward the backstop to get to that ball, and results in runners at first and second here. It was strike 3, runners at first and second, runners advance, and out comes Jeff Mountain to argue a point. Actually, this is a good reference to kind of bring us back to the top of the first inning. There was a strikeout of Tyler Schultz with runners at first and second. Actually, that strikeout occurred, and we didn't describe it quite at that time, but Schultz with the swing and a miss in the first, the pitch hit him on that swing and a miss. It didn't quite hit the dirt, so dead ball, strike 3, inning over. Here, it's the exact opposite. This was a swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt, and as a result, the runners advance. It's a strike 3. Cody Macon does reach because the ball skipped past Ronnie Parrish in the dirt. So strikeout, wild pitch as runners at first and second. 2 outs in the inning, and now Craig Heisen with a chance. Heisen, another left-handed hitter. And a first pitch ground ball to short, played by Ruffing. He'll take it himself at second base, stepping on the bag, and that ends the frame. So easily handled by W&J despite some slight controversy on their end. As the inning ends, a single, a strikeout, wild pitch, 2 left on. And after 1 inning, the score, W&J 1, Thomas More 0. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden...
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
Don't wait. Call 911 immediately.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just for guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this.
There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
1-0 W&J after 1 inning. At the top of the second, Derek McIlvain will lead off. Scott Brady and Michael Ruffing due up the bottom of the President's order against Grant Lewis, the left-handed starter for the Thomas More Saints this afternoon. Game 1 of a triple-header scheduled today in Day 2 of the PAC Baseball Championships. Butt put down first base line. This one rolled all the way behind the first base bag to Craig Heisen. He'll just step on the bag for out number 1. That time, good train of thought, but rolled too hard. Easy out for Craig Heisen.
Yeah, it's a good idea if you can get it past the pitcher sometimes on that first base side, towards second base, not towards first base. And that bump by McIlvain, much too much towards first base. It almost actually hit the base as it rolled basically parallel with the foul line.
Scott Brady will stand in, right-handed hitting center fielder.
W&J does like to bunt the ball, and not necessarily always in a straightforward bunting situation. They'll bunt for base hits. They'll bunt to move runners over. We saw yesterday a safety squeeze, so they're always looking to move up runners to take that extra base and sometimes force the issue with their bunts, or we'll see them steal bases from time to time as well.
First pitch, a strike to Brady, a 263 hitter. 0-1 takes outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Especially with Lewis, a lefty on the mound, falling towards third base, second baseman back. McIlvain being a lefty, so naturally he's bunting towards that direction, running out of the box towards first. Just didn't work out. The execution was off by a little bit.
1-1, up and in, pitch jams Brady as he fouls it off third base side. Seen Lewis at least a few times here very early on those right-handed hitters. He's able to get up and in on those batters and choke them off.
Yeah, likes to work them up and in with the fastball. We've seen the curveball diving in, the shoe top's kind of a slider working down and in from him. Doing a good job of mixing up the pitches so far. There's another slider, just missed a little bit high maybe. Tried to backdoor that time on Brady.
A 1-2 pitch missing, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on, 1 out in the top of the second. 1-0 W&J over Thomas More. 2-2 low and in toward the feet of Brady. Runs the count full. Presidents getting their 1 run in the top of the first on a sacrifice fly by Kyle McLean. Saints had a couple of men on in the bottom of the first, but both left stranded. 3-2 slow roller, left side of the infield. Shortstop Kennett will play it. Quick throw to first in time. That time Travis Miller was looking to cut that one off from his third base position, but evidently was called off by Kennett, who applied the quick throw, knew he had to hurry that one, so didn't rush himself per se, but just was able to get that into and out of the glove quickly. 2 outs.
I initially thought that might be a mistake. Miller was cutting the ball off. He had the angle on it, but he let it go to his shortstop, Kennett. And Kennett sitting back, I thought he needs to charge that ball to catch Brady, but he knew it better than I did and got Brady by about a step.
Michael Ruffing takes ball 1, left-handed hitting shortstop. Ruffing batting .310 on the year, 14 RBIs. 1-0 pitch is low. 2 balls and no strikes. 1-0 W&J. I agree with you. Very often, usually you want your third baseman to cut that ball off if he can, moving to his left. As you said, he has the angle, the momentum, but as it turned out, Kennett, and you could see, obviously we couldn't hear it from our vantage point in the press box, but by Miller's effort, he was hustling, then suddenly stopped as the pitch, a called strike to Michael Ruffing, runs the count to 2-1, but you could see Miller hustling, then suddenly stopped, so apparently called off by Kennett, who does get the play accomplished, 6-3 on that second out. 2-1, ground ball right side of the infield this time, playing it on 2 hops on 1 knee. Marcus Wolf will back up to his feet, throw to first, 1-2-3. Go the Presidents. Score after 1.5. It's W&J 1, Thomas More 0. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help. Call us at 1-877-889-0965. That number, 877-889-0965. Or visit us online at triple.com and on Facebook.
One nothing W&J as we move to the bottom of the second inning. Presidents on a sac fly by Kyle McLean with the early lead. Travis Miller, David Etchide, and Marcus Wolf will all do up for the Saints in the bottom of the second. Sun peeking through the clouds here this afternoon. Noontime start time today for Game 1 of our triple header. And PAC Commissioner Joe Onderco with his eyes closely glued to the radar, hoping for good things there. First pitch strike to Travis Miller from Brian O'Neill. And so far, so good as far as the weather is concerned. 0-1 roller off the mound to shortstop Ruffing, and moving to his left will field throw and retire Travis Miller, out number 1.
And these three, Miller, Etchott, and Wolf, will do up here in the second inning. They were tough outs yesterday. Combined 7 of 12, provided 6 RBIs for the Saints. So good work from their 6, 7, and 8 hitters, guys down the lineup that you don't necessarily expect production from your 6, 7, 8 hitters, but they were producing yesterday.
Miller hitting .361 before that ground out. Now it's David Etchide who takes ball 1 from right-hander O'Neill. 1-0 pitch, fastball upstairs at the letters, 2-0. David Etchide, the DH, a .464 hitter, no homers, 6 RBIs. And the 2-0 fouled away over the President's dugout, first base side. As we mentioned, W&J playing as the visitors today, even though it's their home field. That's NCAA rules by the way the tournament plays out. 2-1, foul ball to the screen, evens up the count 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on for Thomas More. And a good curveball. Check swing going around, rung up on the appeal. David Etchide is the appeal. Ron Whiting Jr., the first base umpire, says that's a swing. 2 outs in the second inning, and that's the second strikeout of the day for O'Neill. O'Neill had a strikeout on what was officially ruled a passed ball that allowed Cody Macon to reach back in the first inning. So strikeout pass ball put him on. Here's a line drive by Marcus Wolf, knocked down by O'Neill with the glove, and quickly recovers at his feet to his left, fields it, retires Marcus Wolfel going 1-3. That ends the inning. Good reactionary move there by Brian O'Neill. Reached out with the left paw, knocked it down. And this time, 1-2-3 go the Saints after 2 innings. It's W&J 1, Thomas More nothing. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact Time Ad Productions. Time Ad Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
The Washington Wild Things open a brand new season of Frontier League Baseball on May 17th and play their home opener on Friday, May 24th, when the Wild Things welcome the Southern Illinois Miners to Consol Energy Park. The 2013 season boasts plenty of fun for the family, including Thirsty Thursdays, fireworks on Fridays, and special giveaways throughout the summer. Not to mention the Frontier League All-Star Game on July 17th. For tickets, call 866-456-WILD. That's 866-456-WILD.
1-0 W&J. Into the third inning we go. Scott Liller will lead off. He's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. Facing Grant Lewis, the starting hurler for the Thomas More Saints. Pitch from Lewis, low and away, ball 1 to right-handed hitting Liller. Grant Lewis has had a fine season to this point for the Saints on the mound as he brings the 1-0 low, 2 balls and no strikes. Good pitching staff for the Thomas More Saints. Of the regular starters, you have Yule, Tim Baldrick, and Grant Lewis, all with 5 wins or more, and all with 1 loss or less. 2-0 pitch from Lewis. Liller takes high at the letters, ball 3. Right now, Lewis falling behind on Liller to start this third inning.
Another sign of a strong pitching staff. You don't see a whole lot of walks or a whole lot of high numbers in those walks columns for those Thomas More pitchers. They like to get ahead, work ahead, and keep the batters off balance. Don't provide too many free passes.
Strike on the 3-0. Taking all the way was Liller. Here comes the 3-1. Wind of the pitch from Lewis. Called a strike at the knees on the outside part of the plate. Liller taking a couple of steps toward first. He'll have to return for. And the full count offering. Ground ball slowly hit left side. Travis Miller to his left will handle it. Hard throw across the diamond. One away. Travis Miller had a fantastic day defensively yesterday for the Thomas More Saints, part of their 14-1 victory over the Teal Tomcats. And Paul Ewell benefited from that, the starter yesterday for the Saints, as Miller helped turn a couple of double plays. 3 double plays turned by the Thomas More defense yesterday. Here's DJ Mahalski. He singled and scored in the first inning, puts down a bunt third base side. Miller will let it roll foul. So Mahalski, who reached on an infield single his first time up, said, I liked it so much, I'll try again. Although that was a swinging effort his first time around, this time with an intentional bunt attempt.
Always have to be on your toes when you're facing W&J. And Thomas More defense so far in the tournament's been up to the task. Paul Ewell yesterday with a complete game, but struck out just 2 batters, so received a lot of help from his defense for the other 25 outs.
0-1 pitch. Mahalski takes low and in. Now, Mahalski, if you missed either yesterday's broadcast or the opening today, Mahalski, as we were told yesterday by Coach Jeff Mountain, was likely to be out for this tournament, likely out for the season with a wrist injury, but has that left wrist taped up, and he's in action today as the designated hitter only, but you like to have his bat in the lineup if you're the Presidents as he takes ball 2. Very tough out of that 2 spot in the order. 1 out, nobody on, 1-0 Presidents in the third. 2-1 pitch to Mahalski, and a soft liner to second, played by Wolfel to his left. Easy catch, 2 away. But Mahalski is always a tough out, knows the strike zone so well. As Josh Stanish comes to the plate. He's 1 for 1, singled in the first inning. And this time, first pitch, pop up. Left side into left field toward the line. Jason Handley will hustle over to make the catch in fair territory to end the inning. Presidents retired in order. Score after 2.5. It's W&J 1, Thomas More 0. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Visigroup, a multifaceted graphic designs company that has been producing great designs since 1999, offering creative services like branding, new media, illustration, exhibitions, advertising, direct mail, and annual reports. Everything Visigroup does is focused on producing outstanding design and service. For a design consultation, email Visigroup at info@visigroup.net. Good things come in small packages, and we do big things.
The Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America has important information for people with asthma. There are 2 main causes of asthma symptoms: airway constriction you feel and inflammation you may not, and most medicines only treat one. At asthma.com, you'll find information about working with your doctor and treating both main causes of asthma symptoms, and how this can help prevent symptoms before they even start. This message brought to you by AAFA with funding and editorial support by GlaxoSmithKline. For more information, go to asthma.com.
Welcome back to Ross Memorial Park. It's 1-0 W&J over the Thomas More Saints. Bottom of the third, Brad Popham, David Kennett, and Jason Handley due up for the Saints. Both pitchers rolling along so far. Grant Lewis, after allowing a run to the Presidents in the first inning, has retired 8 in a row. And O'Neill, after a 1-2-3 inning in the second, will face Brad Popham here to start the third. O'Neill, the right-hander, will kick and deliver. Breaking ball, strike 1.
O'Neill's been sharp so far through 2 innings, just allowed 1 hit, and the only other base runner reached after a strikeout pass ball.
0-1, called a strike on the outside corner. Popham, a .235 hitter, 1 homer, 12 RBIs. 0-2, fastball off the outside edge. Tempting pitch, but Popham lays off. 1-2 delivery. Breaking ball off the outside corner again. Tailing away from the right-handed hitting Popham. 2 balls and 2 strikes. O'Neill's next offering. Curveball again off the outside edge, but this time Popham comes up swinging and comes up empty. 3rd strikeout for O'Neill. 1 away in the 3rd. A good pitch placement there, was repeatedly going after that outside edge off the plate, and eventually does get Popham to chase after one. First pitch strike taken by David Kennett. 0-1. Fastball low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kennett lined out to right on a diving catch by Josh Stanish in the first inning. Kennett was almost always on base yesterday against the Teal Tomcats as the 1-1 in the dirt in front of home plate. Kennett 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs yesterday, part of a 14-1 win for Thomas More in their opener of the tournament against the Tomcats. 2-1 pitch. Off speed, up high, 3-1 as O'Neill falls behind David Kennett. Kennett, who led the conference in base hits a year ago on the 3-1 pitch, pops it out of play. And both teams with big wins yesterday, W&J and Thomas More. Saints 14-1, as we mentioned, over Teal. Presidents beating St. Vincent 14-3, playing in Game 1 of the triple header scheduled today from Ross Memorial Park. 3-2 fouled off again by Kennett.
Two most consistent programs in the PAC baseball-wise doing battle here today. Thomas More, we mentioned the back-to-back championships a couple years ago. W&J is nationally ranked last year. Didn't win the tournament, the conference tournament, but the NCAA at-large bid. They're looking to get back to that tournament again this year.
Foul ball right field line. We'll see another 3-2 pitch to Kennett. 1 out in the bottom of the third. 1-0 W&J. And strong programs in the President's Athletic Conference. 3-2 again from O'Neill. Fly ball, sky to left. McIlvain finds it. Now will come in to his left into the gap to make the jogging catch. 2 outs in the third. McIlvain for a moment took a step back, as you typically do. Not sure where that ball is, and then once he was able to lock in on it, made an easy jogging catch. Here's Jason Handley. He singled in the first.
Yeah, that pitch to Kennett was up, just got under it a little bit, and McIlvain was able to rest underneath it, all in the out.
And Handley pops this one up first base side. O'Neill fighting the sky, but it's beyond his reach, as well as Ronnie Parrish and Tyler Schultz, the President's first baseman. So count 0-2 after the first pitch was called a strike. 0-2 on Handley is O'Neill looking for another quick inning.
The way the sky is right now, it's kind of cloudy up here, and a little bit of a reflection maybe with the sun trying to peek out, but more or less a white ceiling here. Not a whole lot of backdrop either, so might make pop-ups or fly balls just a little more challenging than normal.
0-2 off the outside corner, not taking any chances on the breaking ball. Handley reaches out to get a piece of it to stay alive. O'Neill shakes off a sign, now nods, winds and deals. Another breaking ball, soft liner played on the short hop by shortstop Ruffing. Throw to first, not in time, beating it out. Infield single, Jason Handley.
Wait, Handley's flying out of the box. As soon as he hit that, knew he had a chance for an infield single. Short hop Ruffing at first base. By the time he made the transfer, Handley had already beat the throw.
And Ruffing, as he played that short hop, had to move to his right to get to it. The throw came across his body, and Handley had just enough to beat that one out. So good hustling play. You like to see that if you're Jeff Hetzer, the head coach of the Saints, beating that one out.
Especially since now it means that your 3 and potentially your 4 hitters get a chance to bat here. The runner on, you don't have Ryan Darner leading off the 4th inning. Instead, he gets to bat here in the bottom of the 3rd.
So with a runner at first and 2 outs, Darner takes ball 1. O'Neill from the stretch brings the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball played on the backhand by second baseman Liller, with his momentum taking him toward the bag. Steps on second to end the inning. A base hit by Handley. 1 left stranded after 3. It's W&J 1, Thomas More 0. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden...
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
Don't wait. Call 911 immediately.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just for guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this.
There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
W&J 1, Thomas More nothing. Top of the 4th, Ronnie Parrish 1 for 1 with a single. And he will start things off against Grant Lewis. Lewis with the wide of the pitch, and Parrish takes low and in, ball 1. Lewis steals the 1-0. Parrish tries to hold up his swing, but could not resist as he goes around, strike 1. Once again, Lewis coming inside on one of those right-handed batters of the Presidents. Has had much success with that on the day. 1-1. Tries it again. It's a foul ball by Parrish toward the Thomas More dugout. That time Parrish was able to get in front on it, but too much in front as he pulls it foul.
That's a sign of a confident pitcher, being able to use the entire plate. And also being lefty, throwing inside of these righties, you have to pinpoint your accuracy, because if you miss, you're missing out over the plate.
Here's a chopper on the 1-2 to third, played by Miller. Throw is well off the mark at first base. Parrish will head towards second. It's eventually retrieved by Grant Lewis, the pitcher, in foul territory. And the E5 has Parrish at second base.
It looked like a routine play, a one-hopper to Miller, and he just airmailed it. That's all, and just threw it over top of his first baseman. And now W&J in business. Nobody out, a runner in scoring position. Hyson, no chance to get that ball.
No, not at all. As Miller has been strong from the third base spot in this PAC tournament for Thomas More, but his first error there gives the Presidents a chance to add on to their lead. They lead at 1-0. Cal McLean with a runner at second. Takes strike 1. See if perhaps McLean may be bunting here. Kept the bat on his shoulder on the first pitch. Doesn't mean he won't bunt it here on the second pitch.
Bunt defense was an issue yesterday in both games and led to big rallies.
Teal and St. Vincent both struggling yesterday fielding bunts. And strike 2 delivered to McLean, so that just about takes the bunt out of the situation here. As Parrish off of second, McLean delivering the only RBI of the day in this one with a sacrifice fly back in the first inning. On the 0-2 pitch from Lewis, ground ball right side of the infield, backhanded by second baseman Wolfel, and he'll have no play. He pump faked to first, looked back toward third, and had no option. So it's an infield base hit for McLean. Parrish moves to third.
Look, to me, he came up cleanly with that ball, and I don't know why he didn't throw it to Hyson at first base. I think they would have gotten McLean by a couple steps, but he chose to eat the ball, and now you have runners on the corners.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he had more time than apparently he thought. And pump fake to first, and obviously after that had no option. So results in an infield single. Runners at the quarters, nobody out for Tyler Schultz. First baseman Hyson will hold McLean on as the southpaw Lewis tries to work his way out of this situation. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Schultz behind 0-1.
That was a good piece of hitting by Kyle McLean, too, to hit that ball to the right side and let Parrish go from second to third. You think you get an out on that play, and you're hitting behind the runner to move him to third base. And as it is, he gets on. McLean does, so W&J in business.
Yeah, if nothing else, or if that play is handled regularly, if you will, It's still a positive out for McLean. He gets the benefit of a base hit out of it, as it turns out. 0-1 pitch. Schultz takes outside for a ball.
Yeah, right after being down 0-2 also, if you're Grant Lewis, you're looking for a punch-out or something weak somewhere where you can keep Parrish on second. And McLean, good job to dig himself out of the hole and get on base.
Schultz struck out swinging in the first inning. With runners at the corners, nobody out. Presidents on top 1-0 in the fourth. Step over, throw to first. Back standing is McLean. As playing that ball in front of the bag was Heisen. On the throw over from Lewis. Parrish at third, McLean is at first. 1-1 the count, and Lewis deals to the plate. Breaking ball, fouled away. Tyler Schultz from Strongsville, Ohio, checking signs with head coach Jeff Mountain. Mountain in his 11th year at W&J as their head coach. 1-2 pitch. Fastball high. Lays off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Presidents mentioned that both of these two schools have strong traditions. Presidents have reached the NCAA tournament 3 of the last 4 years under Coach Mountain. Look over at first, 2-2 to the plate. Foul tapper behind home by Tyler Schultz. Keeps the count at 2-2.
Both these coaches, I think, have a nice respect for each other, too. We saw before the game they were down here talking to each other for, 20 minutes to a half hour, just talking about probably baseball-related things, and how they'd like to beat each other today.
Sure not revealing too much from that aspect, but you're right. A lot of respect and admiration for each other amongst all 4 coaches that are involved in this tournament. And another step over throw to first. As off the bag was Heisen. McLean back standing. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. 1-0 W&J in the top of the fourth. Runners at the corners. Lewis from the stretch looks over again at McLean. Brings to the plate. 2-2. Ground ball foul. Third base side. It was backhanded by Miller, but again a foul ball. We had Mick Janosko and Jeff Mountain on air during Game 1 yesterday, and Mick Janosko was crediting Coach Mountain of the Presidents about his ability to building up this program and how they've stayed so consistent as winners, and in his ability to recruit, always able to retool and reload with different quality players that fit into his system. Here's a 2-2 fly ball by Schultz to deep right. Darner backs up to make the catch. Tagging from third is Ronnie Parrish. He'll trot home. It's 2-0 W&J. Sacrifice fly for Tyler Schultz. McLean stays put at first.
This team doing the little things in this game, moving runners over, sacrifice flies with runners on third base. That's how they got both their runs so far. So, not necessarily doing it with extra base hits, home runs, but a little bit of small ball right now, moving runners over and reaping the benefits of just playing good fundamental baseball offensively.
We have 6 hits in this game for both teams combined. All are singles, several infield singles at that, and 2 sacrifice flies that have scored the game's only runs. 2-0 Presidents. 1 out now. Derek McIlvain, who's 0 for 1, will step in. So yeah, small ball it is so far today. But we had some games yesterday where things started out quiet, and then all of a sudden an eruption of runs in single innings for both Thomas More and W&J, part of big victories for them yesterday in day 1 of the tournament. Presidents with a 9-run 6th inning to put away St. Vincent. Thomas More grabbed control of their game with a 6-run 4th inning against Teal. And McIlvain pops this pitch up into shallow left, and this one, near collision there, but left fielder Jason Hanley makes the catch as he was able to make a basket grab and also at the same time avoid shortstop David Kennett, who was reaching into his not only vantage point area, but his head and chest area, still caught the ball and avoided Kennett all at the same time.
We were talking about the sky about a half inning ago, how it's white, and there's a little bit of a glare coming off where the sun's trying to peek through. Kennett going back on that ball in the shallow left field. I'm not sure if he lost it, was trying to shield his eyes from the sun, which is just back behind us a little bit, or just trying to figure out where his outfielder was. But either way, if it wasn't for Hanley, I don't think that ball is caught. Kennett was turned around a little bit and backpedaling.
Scott Brady takes strike one. Good curveball from Grant Lewis. So not without some anxious moments, but the Saints do get the second out of the inning on that pop-up from McIlvain.
Keep an eye on McLean at first base, too, with a couple outs. W&J always looking to move up, although with a lefty on the mound, might be a little bit more difficult to get a good read, good jump off the pitch.
2-0 W&J, 2 outs, top of the fourth. Pitch out. Ball one. President's not running, at least not yet. Thomas Moore thinking that type of action might be in the works, but
I was on the same page as Thomas Moore, just W&J didn't want to pull the trigger and send McLean.
Presidents love to run. We were talking about it quite a bit yesterday. 56 stolen bases collectively, second in the conference. 1-1. Fly ball to right. In comes Darner. A couple of steps makes the catch to end the inning. So an error, a hit, sacrifice fly by Tyler Schultz, and the Presidents add on. The score after 3.5, it's W&J 2, Thomas Moore nothing. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help. Call us at 1-877-889-0965. That number, 877-889-0965. Or visit us online at triple.com and on Facebook.
Presidents with 2 sacrifice flies today, one in the first inning by Kyle McLean and another in the top of the fourth by Tyler Schultz, as the Presidents ahead 2-0 over the Thomas More Saints. Cody Macon will lead off for the Saints in the bottom of the fourth, as Brian O'Neill, the St. Charles Prep product out of Columbus, Ohio, working well here today, has allowed just 2 hits, both of those to Jason Handley. Cody Macon reached on a strikeout pass ball back in the first. And Macon, it's a fly ball well to right center field. Long run for Brady. This will drop in and then bound over the fence for a book rule double. Leadoff double, first extra base hit of the day for either team, belongs to Cody Macon.
Give Thomas Moore a little bit of life after just 2 hits mustered through 3 innings. First hitter to reach second base today.
See if that jump starts the Saints with that 2-base hit. Here's Craig Heisen. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. Broadcast number 1 on the day between W&J and Thomas Moore here from day 2 of the PAC Baseball Championships. Strike 1 delivered by O'Neill to Heisen.
Heisen's looking to drive in Macon from second, but if he can't do that, you'd like him to pull the ball here, hit behind Macon, and at least move that runner over to third with a productive out.
From the stretch, O'Neill takes a look at the runner, brings the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Foul tip into the glove of catcher Ronnie Parrish. 0-2 now on Heisen. And we've talked about in the top of the fourth inning how W&J has done the little things, small ball to score their 2 runs. Even at the very least, as you said, if Heisen collects a positive out to move that runner along, try to do the little things. Here's an 0-2 in the dirt that'll skip past Ronnie Parrish and move Macon to third, so wild pitch takes care of that. So now runner at third with nobody out, an opportunity for Heisen for a sac fly or better.
Yeah, it makes it easier now. Just put the bat on the ball, infield will be back. Just don't hit it basically right at somebody on the screws. Don't hit it at a corner infielder or the pitcher and have yourself an RBI.
Hyson with 11 RBIs this season. See if he can add on and get Thomas More on the board. 2-0 Presidents in the bottom of the fourth. 1-2 fly ball slicing foul left field side.
It's kind of the recipe that Westminster used last year. Pitching, defense, small ball, doing the little things, playing the game right, not making any errors. Led them to the tournament championship a year ago. Really strong pitching by the Titans last year. A nice squeeze play to start out the tournament against these Thomas More Saints. Ended up with a walk-off win on a squeeze, 2-1 in the bottom of the ninth.
1-2, foul ball around home plate. Keeps the count at 1-2. It's 2-0 Presidents right now, bottom of the fourth. Saints threatening, though. Make it at third, nobody out. And Westminster going into the championship day against W&J last year. They had a team batting average of under 200, but their ERA was sub-2 as well. Might have been sub-1. And if you can pitch and play fundamental defense like that, you're going to be tough to beat. All you need is a run or two.
That's sometimes all they had was a
right.
run or two. And that was a fantastic pitching performance. Talk about your bats getting hot sometimes when you have an offensive explosion. That was everything going right for the pitching staff. Didn't matter who was taking the ball out on the mound. All throwing strikes, all very tough to hit.
Another 1-2 pitch to Hyson. He takes low and in toward his feet, the left-handed batter. 2 balls and 2 strikes. O'Neill checking signs with Ronnie Parrish. Now comes set from the stretch. The 2-2 pitch, chopper over the mound. Second baseman Liller will play it on 2 hops, throw to first in time, but it's an RBI ground out for Craig Hyson that brings home Cody Macon, and the Presidents' lead cut to 2-1.
So far, all 3 RBIs are on outs. A couple of sac flies for W&J and an RBI ground out there for Hyson. Cut that lead in half, 2-1 now. W&J still leading.
And the wild pitch proves costly. That extra 90 feet means the ground out brings home Macon rather than moving him to third. And Travis Miller fouls off the first pitch curveball, strike 1 to the netting. Miller bounced out to short in his first at-bat. So with the bases cleared now, the 0-1 to Miller, low and away, another off-speed pitch. This one, though, in the dirt, stopped by Parrish. One. Strike at the knees. O'Neill might have taken something off that pitch, getting that one into the zone on the lower portion. 1-2. Breaking ball low and away. Again stopped in the dirt by Parrish. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Winner of this one will advance to the championship day tomorrow. 2-2 swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 outs now in the inning. That's the 4th strikeout of the day for O'Neill. Presidents leading this one 2-1 as David Etchide comes up next. The winner of this contest will advance to tomorrow's game 1, if you will, the championship day. The loser will play in the 3rd game of our triple header this afternoon and evening. It'll be a 6 p.m. start for game 3. 2 balls and no strikes on Etchide as O'Neill misses on the first 2 pitches. Deep breath by O'Neill. Next pitch. Fastball clubbed well to left, but hooking foul.
He was all on that fastball. Inner half of the plate, just a little too much, and hooked it down the line. It was all over that one.
Did not have home run distance, but certainly had plenty of momentum on it. Would have been running for at least a couple of bases. But this time on the 2-1, rolls it through the left side in between McLean and Ruffig. And a 2-out single for David Etchine. Game 2 today will pit Teal versus St. Vincent, the 2-seed versus 4-seed in the first elimination game of the tournament. Loser will go home. Winner will advance to Game 3, so it'll be quick work between games 2 and 3 for whomever wins that contest between St. Vincent and Teal. Marcus Wolfel takes a good curve on the outside corner, strike one. And that's the disadvantage of losing your first game of the tournament, is you have to play, if you're fortunate enough then to win your second game, you got to play back-to-back.
Like we talked about, though, last year W&J was able to do that. Lost their first game to St. Vincent, bounced back to win 2, and advanced to that championship game against Westminster. And by the same token, just because you win your first game, that doesn't mean you're going to be around on Saturday. St. Vincent won that first game, then dropped 2 on Friday last year to be bounced out of the tournament.
Runner at first is Etchad with 2 outs. O'Neill back again from the stretch. Good pickoff move, but the throw in the dirt. Kicks past Tyler Schultz into foul territory. Headed to second, now moving toward third is Etchad. He'll get in there without a throw, standing up. E1 advances Etchad all the way from first to third.
That definitely changed in about half a second. Etchad was leaning towards second base, and I thought with a good throw they had a shot at picking him off first. But as soon as that ball gets away, he goes all the way from first, round second, and pulls into third.
They had Etchad leaning in the wrong direction, and with the quick move, looked like O'Neill might get him, but the throw inaccurate. And so runner at third with 2 outs for Wolfel with an 0-1 count. O'Neill will try to buckle down, fastball outside to the right-handed hitting second baseman Marcus Wolfel.
A wild pitch earlier in the inning proved costly. A move making from second to third and making an easier job to get him in. Here, Etchad going from first to third, another RBI opportunity arising basically out of nowhere with 2 outs.
Curveball can't lay off. Foul tip back of home plate. 1 and 2 on Wolfel. Wolfel, freshman out of Harrison, Ohio, at Harrison High School. One and 2 on Wolfel. 2 outs. Runner at third is Etchad. 2-1, Presidents leading. Thomas Moore with a chance to tie it here. 1-2. Curveball fouled away. Actually, that one will drop in play, but still well beyond the reach of right fielder Josh Stanish. A lot of room in foul territory here at Ross Memorial Park, so sometimes some of those foul balls, they still have a chance to drop in play, but tough for these fielders to get to, especially down toward the fence. So once again, another 1-2. This one low and away in the dirt to Wolfel. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
A lot of room down the left field line in fair territory because of where Derek McIlvain's playing. He's shaded towards left center, and Brady out in center field shading towards right center.
So playing Wolfel to hit opposite way, and he will go opposite way, but on the ground. 2 hopper to Liller, throw to first. Retires the side. 1 run on 2 hits, an error, and 1 left stranded after 4 innings. It's W&J 2, Thomas Moore 1. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
The Washington Wild Things open a brand new season of Frontier League Baseball on May 17th and play their home opener on Friday, May 24th, when the Wild Things welcome the Southern Illinois Miners to Consol Energy Park. The 2013 season boasts plenty of fun for the family, including Thirsty Thursdays, fireworks on Fridays, and special giveaways throughout the summer. Not to mention the Frontier League All-Star Game on July 17th. For tickets, call 866-456-WILD. That's 866-456-WILD.
VisiGroup, a multifaceted graphic designs company that has been producing great designs since 1999, offering creative services like branding, new media, illustration, exhibitions, advertising, direct mail, and annual reports. Everything VisiGroup does is focused on producing outstanding design and service. For a design consultation, email VisiGroup at info@visigroup.net. Good things come in small packages, and we do big things.
W&J holding a 2-1 lead over Thomas Moore. In the 5th, Michael Ruffing, Scott Liller, and DJ Mahalski do up for the Presidents. Thomas Moore earning a run in the bottom of the 4th. RBI ground out by Craig Heisen has cut the Presidents' lead to 2-1. They did leave a runner at third in David Etchide, the Saints. But small ball, the name of the game so far today for both teams. As Michael Ruffing on the first pitch from left-hander Lewis, lefty versus lefty here to start the 5th, takes low and away ball 1.
Ruffing sliding that left hand up the bat. Didn't really square around the show bunt, but the intent was there, at least in the mind. Something to look for here.
1-0, shows bunt, pulls back again. 2-0 is third baseman Travis Miller creeping down from his third base spot.
Sometimes a good idea just to show it, to get that corner infielder to move in. Gives you a little bit of more room on that left side to go with the pitch.
2-0 takes a curve for strike one.
Lewis working primarily on the outer half of the plate with his fastball. That curveball diving away from roughing.
2-1, another breaking ball off the corner. 3-1. Ruffing bounced out to second his first time up, 0 for 1 so far. Ruffing on the 3-1 pitch. Takes ball 4, leadoff walk. Presidents turned a leadoff base runner in the 4th inning as Ronnie Parrish reached on an error, turned that into a run. See what the Presidents can do with their second leadoff base runner of the day. Scott Liller 0 for 2. Struck out in the first, grounded out to third in the third. And throw over to first, sliding in safely is Ruffing. Two-one Presidents leading in the 5th. Another move over to first base. Thomas Moore certainly expecting the Presidents. It's Craig Heisen faked the throw back to the pitcher and then ranged back to tag Ruffing, but he did not move an inch off the bag. A little deception, but not deceptive enough to come away with an out. But nonetheless, the Saints expecting the Presidents to get something going here with the small ball game. Bunt attempt by Liller rolls foul first base side. That's the thing about the Presidents and what they do and what they can do is you would suspect that this would be a straight-up bunt attempt upcoming, but doesn't mean that they'll actually do that. You might see the runner going, hit and run. What you might expect might not be coming.
And they might wait to bunt him, too. That time Liller did show bunt, but they could also start Ruffing on first, have him steal second, and then bunt him over.
A lot of options with the speed that the Presidents have. Another throw to first by Lewis, backstanding is Ruffing.
So you got to make sure you get Liller here, too, because you have a guy on deck that's very good at handling the bat. Seen them hit and run with Mahalski on deck thousands of times. He can put a bunt down as well.
Liller shows bunt, pulls back that pitch, hitting Liller, so hit batsman puts runners at first and second. Pitch catching him on the lower body area, not exactly sure where it got him, but he slightly limps up the first base line.
And that's not what you want if you're Thomas Moore. W&J given an out with Liller in the sacrifice position. Just didn't work out. Struck by the pitch. Now 2 runners on for the Presidents. And you were mentioning options. Here's all types of options here.
What does Jeff Mountain want to do here with DJ Mahalski? And as you said, a player that can handle the bat so well. He knows the strike zone, and with 2 strikes on him, he really can lock it down. We'll see what he can do here. Obviously, more often than not, he's going to put the ball in play.
First base crashing in for the Saints. Third base is back, and the middle infielders somewhat at double play depth. They have to look at Ruffing on second. You don't want to leave him alone either because he'll just walk into third base.
See how this one will play out and what Coach Jeff Mountain wants to do with Mahalski. 2 on, nobody out. Runners at first and second. Bunt shown. Mahalski lays it down. Third base side, played by the pitcher. Lewis, he'll throw to first, and it pulls Marcus Wolfel, who was covering the bag, off of it. And a good effort by Wolfel to dive and get to that ball. Bases are loaded.
That was a fantastic bunt by Mahalski. I don't know if that throws on line. Even if they get him, that's a bang-bang play at first. Could have gone either way, and Lewis was the only one that could get that with Miller back at third. Ball down the third base line. It was good athleticism by the pitcher just to come off the mound and get a hand on that ball.
So sacrifice and error has Mahalski on, moves Liller to second, Ruffing to third. Bases filled with Presidents and still nobody out, and now we have a visit to the mound is Grant Lewis. He was in a similar pickle back in the first inning, however, with the bases loaded, had 1 out to work with. Here, it's bases loaded, nobody out.
And again, it's a bunt. Bunt is unable to be handled. Actually, 2 bunts, folks. Scott Liller, now on second base, actually showed bunt and ended up hitting him with a pitch. A couple instances where the Presidents are are giving an out to their opponent, and just the Saints unable to come through.
Josh Stanish, the number 3 hitter in the order, due up next. He's 1 for 2 with a single. A single back in the first inning. The line shot to center field. A walk started this 5th inning for Michael Ruffing. Hit by pitch, put Liller at first. Moving Ruffing to second. As Justin noted, Liller was showing bunt when he was struck by the pitch. Mahalski putting down a sacrifice throwing error has loaded them up. 2-1 Presidents, and Stanish takes outside on the curveball, ball 1.
Corners are about even with the bases. They'll look to come home if there's a shot their way. Middle infield is back, so they'll trade the run for 2 outs.
Yeah, they'll gladly accept the double play if they can get it.
Tough guy to double up, though, in the box right now.
1-0 pitch, called strike, 1-1.
For them to get Stanish on a double play at first, it's going to have to be a one-hopper and a clean exchange at second.
Yeah, if you're Lewis, might be more realistic to think strikeout or pop-up here. And then deal with Parrish after that. Try and keep the Presidents off the board. If you're W&J, do what you have been doing at the very least. Manufacture runs. 2 sac flies has the Presidents on top 2-1. And with the bases loaded, nobody out in the 5th. 1-1 pitch to Stanish. Comes up empty on the swing foul. Tip into the glove of Popham for strike 2. Stanish has struck out 12 times this season. As Lewis brings the 1-2 and make it 13 times. He gets him to chase the curveball. Sharp curve off the plate. And Stanish down on strikes. 1 out. Big out.
Yeah, big first out. Now you can not relax, but there's definitely more options here in terms of bases you can throw to. If you're the Saints without giving up a run, obviously anything to the middle infielders before would have seeded a run, but now something on the ground will get you out of the inning.
You mentioned making it tough, or Stanish a tough player to double up. Well, Ronnie Parrish, he has been doubled up 5 times this year. Actually, the conference leader in double plays, not the offensive category you want to lead in. So if you're Grant Lewis, this is perhaps the player you want at the plate. However, if you're W&J, you would argue as well, this is the player you want at the plate because he's their top run producer. Bases loaded, 1 out. 2-1 Presidents in the 5th. Off-speed pitch, outside edge for a strike. Parrish checking with Chris Stump, the home plate umpire, giving him a look after that call. It's borderline on that outside edge.
Parrish can go that way, though. Lewis, a lefty, will look to live on the outside. He'll come inside, but on those outside pitches, Parrish, tremendous power to right center field.
Time at home plate. Runner at third is Ruffing. At second, Liller. At first, DJ Mahalski. W&J up by a run in the 5th with 1 out. Grant Lewis getting a big strike out of Stanish, now dealing with Ronnie Parrish. The 1-1 to the plate, check swing on the breaking ball low, 2-1. Game 2 of our triple header. In day 2 of the PAC Baseball Championships, we'll pit Teal against St. Vincent. 3 p.m. scheduled start time for that. Game 3, a 6 p.m. game. Opponents to be determined in that one. 2-1. Curveball strike on the outside third of the plate.
A couple backdoor curveballs for the 2 strikes. Ronnie Parrish. See if they'll try and make him chase out of the strike zone here, or maybe come in side with a fastball, 2-2. Certainly don't want to go 3-2 here.
2-2 pitch. Popped out of play. That one up a bit as Parrish taking a cut at that one. Ends up fouling it away. Try it again. Lewis. Deep breath. Kick in the pitch. And the offering popped out of play once more. A good battle right here between Lewis and Parrish Both of these players know it's a big at-bat. 2-1 W&J leading by a run, and just one swing could change the sway and momentum of this game in either direction.
Yeah, you get the feeling this at-bat's going to change the momentum. If he can get Parrish or even get out of the inning, give the Saints a ton of momentum. And obviously, if Parrish can help increase the lead, it'll give momentum to the Presidents.
2-2 pitch again, and another foul ball down the right field side.
You know, we're running out of baseballs now. A couple of them have left the park, but back behind us and down the line.
Home plate umpire Chris Stump hollers for some new baseballs. In the meantime, Brad Popham will come up to chat with Grant Lewis as they try to put Parrish away.
Familiarity with the catcher, too, knowing that you can trust Popham in case you want to throw a ball in the dirt, and knowing that he's going to block it. That's something that a pitcher always likes to have. You know, you can trust your catcher to block it, keep it in front of him if you do get that curveball to drop into the dirt.
2-2 pitch, fastball away. Good pitch by Lewis. Tempting offering, but also a good eye by Parrish to lay off.
They have overthrown that pitch or missed his spot by a wide margin. Popham set up inside, and that pitch missed up and out. They tried to overthrow it or grip it too tight.
Bases loaded, one out in the fifth. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss on the curveball. Lewis pumps his fist. Big out number 2 in this inning. Back-to-back Ks of Stanish and Parrish. Four strikeouts in the game now for Lewis. As here is Kyle McLean. Second time today he's come up with the bases loaded. The first time around, a sac fly RBI brought home the President's first run.
It's not going to work this time with 2 outs on the board.
And McLean, hard ground ball, backhand dive by Wolfel. He'll flip to Kennett. Out at second is Mahalski to end the inning. So 2 big strikeouts by Lewis and a fine defensive play by Wolfel at second base ends the inning. Bases loaded, nobody out for the Presidents. And the Saints get out of it with no damage. Score after 4.5. It's W&J 2, Thomas More 1. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships brought to you by Sport Clips.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just for guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this.
There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
Bottom of the fifth, Brad Popham leads off for Thomas More. He takes a strike from Brian O'Neill. Big top of the fifth inning. Put a circle around that. We'll see how this one plays out in the outcome. But big top of the fifth that Thomas More was able to wiggle out of a major jam. Bases loaded, nobody out as Popham fouls off the 0-1 pitch. And the Presidents come up empty as it turns out. Strikeout, and ground out. Ends that top of the fifth threat, and Grant Lewis, the starter for the Saints, and some fine defense behind him to get that third out. Diving play by Wolfel at second as the 0-2 outside to Popham. Popham 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
Yeah, Lewis somewhat instrumental in loading the bases there. He walked Michael Ruffing, hit Scott Liller, and then Michalski reached after trying to sacrifice the 2 base runners over by a throwing or on a throwing error by Lewis, and then Lewis turned right around and struck out 2 hitters, then a little help from his second baseman. So that's how you load them up and then shut them down if you're the lefty for the Saints.
1-2 was out of the zone. 2-2 pitch. Popham takes a good fastball just out of the zone. 3-2.
I might have swung at that one. It would have got me.
Would have got me, too. Good-looking pitch there from O'Neill. Doesn't get the call. O'Neill will try again. 3-2 offering. Breaking ball low and away. Ball 4, leadoff runner for Thomas Moore. Presidents in front 2-1 over the Saints. But now the game-tying run aboard at first base here in the 5th inning.
First time Brad Popham's reached base in the tournament.
O'Neill from the stretch, peeks over his left shoulder at the runner, deals to the plate, showing bunt is David Kennett. He will take in the dirt, pulling back ball 1. Third baseman Kyle McLean ready to charge in and play a bunt attempt here by Kennett. O'Neill's 1-0, bunt put down, a hard bounce played by O'Neill on the first base side. He'll throw a dart over to Tyler Schultz at first base. Sacrifice goes 1-3. Moves Popham to second. One out in the bottom of the 5th for Jason Handley. O'Neill checks the runner, deals a curveball, popped up by Handley into shallow right center. In comes Brady into the shallow right center field gap to make the jogging catch. 2 outs now in the bottom of the 5th. Presidents in front 2-1. Ryan Darner, he's 0 for 2 today. A line out the left and a ground out to Scott Liller back in the 3rd. Presidents 1 run in the 1st, 1 in the 4th. Thomas More with their lone run in the bottom of the 4th. We're in the bottom of the 5th currently with Popham at second base. O'Neill takes his time. Again, checks the runner. Fastball, inside edge, strike 1.
Another RBI opportunity for Darner. Looking for his first of the tournament. Not surprising, the 2 guys in the middle of the order. So prolific in driving in runs, Darner and Macon. No RBIs yesterday, despite the Saints scoring 14 runs.
Perhaps saving it for the right time. Who knows?
This might be the right time, a 2-1 game.
0-1 fastball. And just misses the outside edge to a right-handed hitter. O'Neill's been close on that pitch a couple of times. Well, that one a little farther off the plate. One offering. Fastball, a strike. This time does get the outside part of the plate. O'Neill running that fastball a little bit more over the plate, but just to catch the outside part of it, not necessarily in the heart of the zone by any means. As here comes the 1-2 and a swing and a miss, foul tip into the glove of Ronnie Parrish to end the inning. 5 strikeouts for O'Neill, and the score after 5 is 1 is left stranded. Score after 5, W&J 2, Thomas More 1. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help. Call us at 1-877-889-0965. That number, 877-889-0965. Or visit us online at triple.com and on Facebook.
Ross Memorial Park, host site for the 2013 PAC Baseball Championships, and the W&J Presidents in front 2-1 over the Thomas More Saints. And in a tight ball game, Some runners on base, some runners left on base. The Presidents leaving 6 on, Thomas More leaving 5 on board. And clearly the biggest opportunity to score runs by the Presidents in the top of the 5th, where they left the bases loaded, no outs. And Grant Lewis buckling down with a couple of strikeouts to Stanish and Parrish, and then a ground out from Kyle McLean. Another factor in that is he had to go up against the meat of the order to accomplish it.
Yeah, 3, 4, and 5 against the Presidents. If you're a W&J fan, that's exactly what you want. Bases loaded, nobody out, and the meat of the order, middle of the order coming up. Unable to get anything out of that inning.
Showing bunt, Tyler Schultz pulls back, takes strike 1. Schultz sacrifice fly RBI in the 4th inning. Right now the difference in the game, and here he lines one through the left side past the reaching glove of Travis Miller. Base hit, leadoff single for W&J. 3rd straight inning now. They've started off with the leadoff man aboard.
Yep, 3rd straight inning. And in the 4th inning, Ronnie Parrish reached by way of an error, and he was able to score on that Schultz sacrifice fly. Obviously last inning, nothing doing in terms of runs crossing the plate for the Presidents. So look to buck that trend here with the bottom of the order. Number 7 hitter, McIlvain, set to face Lewis. A couple of lefties here.
McIlvain 0 for 2, throw over to first to check Schultz. Well played, well pitched game here in this broadcast opener of Day 2 of the PAC Baseball Championships.
Just as you say that, there's a few Saints running down to the bullpen beyond the left field wall.
Kick in the pitch, reaching bunt attempt, foul tip back of home by McIlvain for a strike.
Paul Ewell with the complete game yesterday, so that bullpen, no work, no innings pitched at all yesterday. At full strength today. Lewis not necessarily laboring in this game other than that 5th inning. Still looking strong out on the mound. Done a good job. Actually, he and O'Neill both done a good job of scattering hits, limiting the opportunities for runs today.
0-1, McIlvain, bunt put down in front of home plate. Played by the catcher, Popham. Barehand pickup throw to first. 1 out, sacrifice successful. Going 2-3, moving to second is Schultz. And the man headed out to the bullpen for Thomas More was Andy Ronker for the Thomas More Saints. And he is one of 2 players typically used out of the bullpen in key situations for Jeff Hetzer. So Andy Ronker along with David Etchide. Etchide with 6 saves and Ronker with a pair. And both can go multiple innings. So bullpen a major strength for Thomas More. All hands on deck today because of that complete game effort by Paul Ewell yesterday.
I'd say you could expand that to the entire pitching staff as a strength of Thomas More so far. They've thrown 14 innings and given up just 3 runs.
Pitch up and into Scott Brady, ball 1. Schultz at second, 1 out. And the top of the 6th, 1-run lead for W&J. Brady checks his swing. Pitch again inside, ball 2. Presidents 2 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. Thomas More 1 run on 4 hits and 2 errors. Double take of the runner at second, and the southpaw brings the 2-0 pitch. Ground ball hit past the mound, rolled to short. Played by Kennett into his midsection. Throw to first, a little tall, but Heisen keeps that left toe on the bag for out number 2. Runner moves to third. That's Tyler Schultz.
Heisen, a big body over there at first base. Tall, able to stretch. Nice target for the infielders. It's tough to overthrow a target like that. Side to side, too. You have a little bit of leeway on both sides of that base. So if you're off by a little bit, as Kennett was, it's still an out.
So Schultz at third for Michael Ruffing, who's 0 for 1 plus a walk. Lewis checking signs with Brad Popham as catcher, and now will step off. Kick in the pitch. Curveball off the plate to the left-handed hitting Ruffing. Ball 1. 2 outs in this top of the 6th. As the 1-0 comes in, and once more off the plate with the breaking ball, 2-0.
Looks like both teams have arrived here for Game 2. St. Vincent out beyond the left field fence, hitting in the batting cage, and Teal kind of looks like they're looking on right now over the right field fence. Not a whole lot of warm-ups going on.
Here comes the 2-0, wave and a miss by Ruffing. Teal and St. Vincent will get started at 3 p.m. Right now it's Thomas More and W&J. The winner will play on championship day tomorrow. 2-1 pitch. This one off the corner for ball 3.
Saw O'Neill miss just barely on a couple pitches an inning or two ago. There, Lewis just missing on the outside corner.
3-1 ground ball right side of the infield, past the diving glove of Wolfel, and it's an RBI single, 2-out RBI single for Michael Ruffing. Makes it a 3-1 Presidents lead. Well, Wolfel made a fantastic diving play in a similar fashion with the backhand effort in the 5th inning to help clean up a bases loaded situation. This time around with 2 outs, couldn't quite get to that one, just beyond his reach, and Ruffing comes through with a clutch base hit.
Yeah, absolutely. Clutch base hit from your number 9 hitter, too. Finding the hole up the middle, just out of the reach of the second baseman, Wolfel. And not only do you get the run in, you help turn the order here.
Oh, runner going, pickoff move. They have the runner. Throw into second base. Tag put down by David Kennett. That pickoff will go 1-3-6 on the tag out of Michael Ruffing to end the inning. Caught stealing ends the frame, but W&J getting an insurance run on that 2-out single by Ruffing. Score after 5.5. It's W&J 3, Thomas More 1. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
The Washington Wild Things open a brand new season of Frontier League Baseball on May 17th and play their home opener on Friday, May 24th, when the Wild Things welcome the Southern Illinois Miners to Consol Energy Park. The 2013 season boasts plenty of fun for the family, including Thirsty Thursdays, fireworks on Fridays, and special giveaways throughout the summer. Not to mention the Frontier League All-Star Game on July 17th. For tickets, call 866-456-WILD. That's 866-456-WILD.
Welcome back to Ross Memorial Park. The Presidents with a 3-1 lead into the bottom of the 6th as Cody Macon leads off, takes ball 1 from Brian O'Neill. Presidents getting a big insurance run. And the top of the 6th, 2-out RBI single by Michael Ruffing as the 1-0 pitch is upstairs. Till fouled away by Cody Macon. He doubled and scored in the 4th inning for the Saints' only run. And Ruffing's RBI single, that's the first hit that's driven in a run today in this game. 2-1, and a bounding ball on 2 hops played by first baseman Schultz. He'll call off pitcher O'Neill and take it himself. And steps on the bag, 1 away in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Yeah, O'Neill's been solid today. Now 5 1/3 innings. Allowed just that 1 run. 4 hits, 1 walk, and struck out 5. Do have action in the W&J bullpen. Lefty Jared Baird loosening up.
Fastball low. Ball 1 to Craig Heisen. He's 0 for 2 with an RBI ground out in the 4th that scored Cody Macon. 1-0. Bounding ball over the mound, up the middle, backhanded by Liller in shallow center that uncorks a wild throw, backhanded on a dive. in foul territory, backing up the play, Ronnie Parrish. So he keeps that to an infield single for Craig Heisen. So nicely done. Ronnie Parrish comes up kind of waving that left hand after maybe perhaps he fell awkwardly on that on the diving play in foul territory. But because of Parrish backing that up more than nicely, or quite frankly, he's able to limit that to no error on the wild throw and just an infield single.
And no one was going to get that ball and throw out Heisen as soon as it bounced past the pitcher's mound. O'Neill jumped for it, couldn't get there, too tall for him, and then Lillard would have been better off after backhanding that, just eating that ball, not going to throw out the Saints hitter.
So with 1 on, 1 out, it's Travis Miller. Miller 0 for 2 today. Takes an off-speed pitch, drops into the zone. Good breaking ball, strike one. Brian O'Neill doing a nice job of mixing up his pitches, keeping the Saints off balance. He scattered 5 hits to this point. 5th hit coming moments ago on that infield single. Swing and a miss. This time something up out of the zone that Miller can't resist. Big cut. Comes up empty. Strike 2. (3-1) W&J. Heisen at first. Bottom of the 6th for the Saints. O'Neill from the stretch. And a foul ball. Like that one popped into and out of the glove of Parrish. If he holds on, it's strike 3, but could not.
You could tell he wanted that one, too, kind of talking to himself a little bit after missing that one off the very tip of the pocket.
(0-2) again. Breaking ball, ground ball to short. Played by Ruffing. Throw to second out there. On to first on one hop. Nicely done on the back end as well by Tyler Schultz. 6-4-3. Inning ending. Double play. Heisen with a single. He's erased on the DP. And after 6 innings, it's W&J 3, Thomas More 1. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Visagroup, a multifaceted graphic designs company that has been producing great designs since 1999, offering creative services like branding, new media, illustration, exhibitions, advertising, direct mail, and annual reports. Everything Visagroup does is focused on producing outstanding design and service. For a design consultation, email Visagroup at info@visagroup.net. Good things come in small packages, and we do big things.
The Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America has important information for people with asthma. There are 2 main causes of asthma symptoms: airway constriction you feel and inflammation you may not, and most medicines only treat one. At asthma.com, you'll find information about working with your doctor and treating both main causes of asthma symptoms, and how this can help prevent symptoms before they even start. This message brought to you by AAFA with funding and editorial support by GlaxoSmithKline. For more information, go to asthma.com.
W&J with a 3-1 advantage over the Thomas More Saints as we move to the 7th. Scott Lillard, DJ Mahalski, and Josh Stanish, 1-2-3 hitters due up for the Presidents. Grant Lewis, the product from Mason, Ohio, has been strong today for the Saints on the mound, despite trailing this one. Pitch coming up and in on Lillard. Check swing, finds the bat. Foul ball around home plate, strike 1. And again, Lewis effective with that up and in pitch to righties. As the southpaw deals the 0-1, and it's popped up by Lillard on the infield. Second baseman Wolfel camps under it, makes the catch. 1 down. Lillard now 0 for 3 today, has reached once being hit by a pitch in the 5th. As Mahalski, 1 for 2. Singled and scored in the 1st, put down a sacrifice bunt in the 5th, did reach on an error off that sacrifice. And Mahalski, if you're just joining us today on the PAC Sports Network, talking with Jeff Mountain yesterday as Mahalski takes a strike. Jeff Mountain said that Mahalski with a wrist injury was expected to miss the rest of this tournament and perhaps the entire season if the Presidents are able to extend their year into the NCAA tournament. But Mahalski playing. And a 1-hopper to second, played by Wolfel. Throw to first, 2 outs quickly here in the 7th. But Halski gutting it out, has that left wrist taped up and able to fight through and play at least bat. He's not playing the field, but in the lineup as the designated hitter, and that's a big bat to have back in your lineup if you're W&J, and has produced a single and a run scored, even with the even playing not 100%, if you will, as Josh Stanish fouls one away, strike one. 2 outs, Presidents in front 3-1, top of the 7th.
Yeah, definitely a difference maker. We might be talking more about him if the Presidents hadn't left the bases loaded with nobody out, unable to score a run earlier in the 5th inning, but he was part of that, being able to put down a sacrifice and then reaching by way of throwing error, but just having his bat in the lineup, he adds another dimension anytime he's up at the plate. He also chews up pitch counts for pitchers. Very patient hitter up there. You're not going to see him swing too often at a bad pitch. Also, when he gets 2 strikes, very tough to punch out. He'll foul balls off that are well off the plate, get a bat on him, and extend at bats.
1-2 to Stanish, fouls it into and out of the glove of Brad Popham. Is similar to Ronnie Parrish a half inning ago, couldn't hold on for strike 3. So Popham, he punches the catcher's mitt. Would love to have that one back. So another 1-2 pitch upcoming here. 2 outs. Nobody on, top of the 7th for the Presidents. Stanish fouls it off over the Thomas More dugout on the third base side and beyond the seating area. Grant Lewis, a starter for the Saints, brings the 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Good breaking ball on the inside edge, and that one had Stanish locked up. He watches it for strike 3. 5 strikeouts today for Lewis. Presidents retired in order. 7th inning stretch time from Ross Memorial Park. The score, W&J 3, Thomas More 1. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Confusion over someone or have sudden...
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
Don't wait. Call 911 immediately.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just for guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this.
There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
W&J on top 3-1 over the Thomas More Saints. Brian O'Neill continues on, the starter for the Presidents. Into the bottom of the 7th, David Etchide will lead off. Etchide 1 for 2 with a single. Takes a breaking ball in the dirt from O'Neill, ball 1.
Bottom 3 in the order for the Saints. Etchide, a very good hitter. Not a pushover in the 7th spot here. Both teams obviously getting here with strong offensive teams. Both teams can hit up and down the lineup. It's a guy you'd like to get right here if you're Brian O'Neill.
O'Neill misses on the 1-1 pitch. And Thomas More, 3rd in the conference in batting average, 2nd in homers. Also 1st in the league in walks, which helps you score plenty of runs. Next pitch fouled away. 2 strikes now on Etchide. 2-2 the count. Wide of the next pitch, fastball outside to the right-handed hitting Etchide. Runs the count full. Three-two pitch is low, ball 4. We're talking about Thomas More leading the league in walks. There's a leadoff walk to try and start a rally. Presidents in front by a pair is Marcus Wolfel. He's 0 for 2. We'll check signs with Jeff Hetzer out at the third base coaching box before stepping into the batter's box. O'Neill in the stretch, showing bunt is Wolfel. pulls back, takes ball one, low and away. Pump fake by Parrish back toward first. O'Neill taking his time from the stretch. And will throw over to first. Sliding in is Etchai.
Sometimes pitchers will take their time, then throw over maybe to get the batter to reveal his hand. Wolfel did not flinch. Did bunt on that first pitch, which was the ball.
1-0 to the plate. Strike at the knees. Etchai just 1 for 1 in stolen base opportunities this year. With it being a 3-1 game, and Etchai, based on his build, looks like he would have decent speed.
I don't know that you would have him run, or you would bunt him over. If anything, you're trying to move him up, you'd have him run here. But in a 3-1 game, out so precious late.
And a pitch that's in the dirt in front of home plate. Parrish will keep it in front, recover, spin, and throw, but not in time. Wild pitch moves Etchai to second.
That works. If you're Thomas Moore, not giving up an out. Etchai safe into second with a head first slide. The runner in scoring position for Thomas Moore now.
Well, wild pitch in the 4th inning for O'Neill proved costly as that moved a runner Macon from second to third with at that time nobody out. An RBI ground out followed, and that has been the only run for the Saints so far. See if this wild pitch will play a factor here for Thomas Moore as Wolfel. Well, ready for a 2-1 pitch from O'Neill. Shows bunt again, takes up and away on the fastball, 3-1.
If you're O'Neill here, I think you have to throw Wolfel something he can handle. Number 8 hitter in the lineup. You don't want to put the tying run on base in a 2-run game.
(3-1). Called a strike. Nope. It is ball 4. I thought he was going to go back there. I think O'Neill thought the same thing. When he pulled that right hand back, the home plate umpire Chris Stump, and then thought better of it. It's outside for ball 4, so it will be a walk. Back-to-back walks for Etchai and Wolfel.
You'll see number 9 hitter Brad Popham stand in. I think we may see him try and sacrifice. No hits yet in the tournament. Only reached base once. That was his last at bat with a walk.
Yeah, Popham for the year is a .235 hitter, so out of the 9 spot, all signs would point to an upcoming bunt attempt here from the number 9 hitting catcher, Brad Popham, with runners at first and second and nobody out. A 2-run game. Presidents leading 3-1, bottom of the 7th. And going back to that last with his arms outstretched, wondering, hey, where was that strike call? So doesn't get that. Jeff Mountain comes out to talk with the entire infield to prepare his defense for the upcoming bunt, and also perhaps to try and settle his pitcher down. You don't want him to get rattled after that last walk. And out turning off the mound to look Etchai close to second is O'Neill.
Again, looking to maybe see if Popham would show his hand. He did not. Still bad on the shoulder. Both corner infielders are about halfway. Schultz creeping in from first base, and the middle infielders are back. Sort of showed bunt there and ball outside. But you're looking for a pitch to bunt and not right back at the pitcher in this situation with neither infielder really crashing that hard. McLean kind of back at third a little bit. You're wanting to bunt it his way so that there's no play at third.
O'Neill takes a look at Etchai. Bunt put down, fielded by O'Neill off the hill. Will look to third, but throw to first. Popham successful with the sacrifice, going 1-4 as Lillard covers the bag at first. Moves the runners along, second and third, Wolfel and Etchai.
Ooh, dangerous bunt there, right back to the pitcher, O'Neill. If he's lefty, turn towards third, he may make a play, but being a righty, the way he fielded that ball, he had to turn his body one way and then throw back across his body. So too much time, it just took the sure out at first, and that will be all for his afternoon. Coach Mountain out from the dugout to get his pitcher.
So Etchai will check out. We have a new pitcher entering for W&J. Runners at second and third with nobody out. With that, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll tell you who the new pitcher is here for the W&J Presidents. We'll be right back. The score 3-1. W&J leading Thomas Moore at the bottom of the 7th. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington. Independent living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help. Call us at 1-877-889-0965. That number, 877-889-0965. Or visit us online at triple.com and on Facebook.
3-1 W&J in front as the new pitcher, left-hander out of the bullpen is Jared Baird. Baird's totals this year for the Presidents has worked 10 appearances out of the pen, 1-0 with a 4.55 ERA, has one save in 27 2/3 innings, has allowed 34 hits, 16 runs, 14 earned, 9 walks, 18 strikeouts. Runners at second and third for Thomas Moore with one away in the bottom of the seventh, and again it's a 2-run lead for W&J. As Baird looking for some big outs, he brings strike one to David Kennett.
Yeah, leadoff hitter David Kennett stepping in, right-hander versus the lefty Baird.
Good start for Brian O'Neill today, and is hoping for Baird to bail him out with those base runners. A couple of walks in the seventh. Foul ball out of play.
6 1/3 innings for Brian O'Neill, 5 hits, 1 earned run. He is responsible for the runners on second and third, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. So good afternoon, could turn great afternoon, could turn into an okay afternoon depending on how this bottom of the seventh ends up.
Kennett 0 for 2 with a sacrifice, and he pops up the 0-2 pitch into shallow left. Backing up is Michael Ruffing. He'll make the catch backpedaling, and it's out number 2.
Well, that was a big out number 2. Baird being able to induce that pop-up and out-recorded without the runner being able to score from third. Now 2 outs, and runner's still stuck at second and third.
Pitch was up in the zone. Kennett, with an uppercut swing, popped it up.
It might have been something he was able to drive, get under, maybe get it out to an outfielder. A sacrifice fly type of opportunity, but too much under it, not enough distance on it.
Here's Jason Hanley. He's 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. Hanley takes in the dirt, stopped by Parrish, and watches the ball in front of him, and also the runner in front of him as well at third base, David Etchide, making sure that everything is in place. Back-to-back walk started this bottom of the seventh. Sacrifice by Brad Popham moved the runners along. As Baird checked in, got a pop-up of Kennett moments ago, and now a 1-0 pitch due to Handley. Deals a fastball on the outside third of the plate for strike one. Presidents owning a 3-1 lead, trying to hold on to it. Thomas Moore, base hit, could very well tie things up here in this seventh. 1-1 from Baird. And this ball pulled well down the left field line, but hooking foul. Will 2-hop the fence, but again, a foul ball. Hanley seeing a good breaking ball to hit, but jumped it just a little too much. Baird ready with the signs from Parrish. Brings the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Baird out of the pen. Gets a pop-up and strikeout. 2 left on for the Saints. Score after 7. It's W&J 3, Thomas Moore 1. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
The Washington Wild Things open a brand new season of Frontier League Baseball on May 17th and play their home opener on Friday, May 24th, when the Wild Things welcome the Southern Illinois Miners to Consol Energy Park. The 2013 season boasts plenty of fun for the family, including Thirsty Thursdays, fireworks on Fridays, and special giveaways throughout the summer. Not to mention the Frontier League All-Star Game on July 17th. For tickets, call 866-456-WILD. That's 866-456-WILD.
W&J with a 3-1 advantage over the Thomas More Saints. And both teams have had excellent chances to score today. W&J left the bases loaded with no outs to start. They left the bases loaded in the fifth. Thomas More, in turn, had two in scoring position with one out just a half inning ago. Left both of those runners stranded. So we move on to the eighth as Ronnie Parrish leads off, and he takes a curveball on the outside part of the plate for strike one. Grant Lewis, the starter for the Saints, remains on the hill. He's been strong today, but right now on the losing end of a 3-1 score. 0-1 from the southpaw, and Parrish with a chopper foul third base way.
That ball fielded by Jeff Mountain in the third base coaching box. You can hear from the W&J dugout applauding their head coach on the nice fielding job down there. Give him grief when he misses a foul ball. Keep track of his fielding percentage.
0-2, Parrish with a foul ball off his body.
At least that's what the rumor is.
Wonder what his fielding percentage is. We'll have to check with the players at some point. I'm sure Jeff Mountain could care less what his fielding percentage is. But I'll tell you one thing about the Presidents. Their dugout, they keep loose, which is a good thing. 0-2 pitch, check swing at one up out of the zone. Appeal, no swing, says Ron Whiting Jr., the first base umpire. 1-2 now the count on Parrish. But the Presidents, they keep it loose, but that helps build kind of that winning attitude, so to speak. And they've done nothing but win the past handful of seasons in more. 1-2 pitch. Parrish takes a look at a pitch that nearly bends around the outside corner. 2-2. Line of the 2-2 pitch. Parrish with a hard two-hopper off the chest of Miller. Deflects to Kennett. It's short. Throw to first, not in time. Boy, Kennett almost pulled that off. Will result in an error for Travis Miller. Should have been his ball. Was a fortunate bounce where Kennett played that one quickly and made it a play at first base, but Parrish beats it out. And again, it's an E5 that has Parrish aboard.
Yeah, closer than I thought it would be when it kicked off at Miller. I figured that was headed into left field, but kicked right to the backhand of the shortstop Kennett, and a real strong throw across the diamond, just unable to get Parrish, who ended up legging that one out. But Craig Heisen, even on the other end, tried to sell that by catching it and whipping it to an infielder really quick.
Parrish hit and run, takes off on the pitch. McLean drives it into center field. Parrish off to third. Runners at the quarters now. Nobody out. Presidents with a chance to really open things up. They lead at 3-1 in what has been a tight game since the outset. And the Saints in trouble, but we've seen Grant Lewis work out of jams numerous times today, so this is nothing new here. As runners at the corners, nobody out.
Ronker still continuing to throw beyond the left field wall in the bullpen for the Saints, but in the meantime, it looks like Lewis is going to face Tyler Schultz. Again, W&J very aggressive on the bases, hit and run with Ronnie Parrish taking off from first. And just like you'd want to draw it up, base hit for McLean, runners on the corners, nobody out. Presidents threatening once again.
Schultz singled and scored in the sixth. Sac fly RBI back in the fourth. And here a ground ball through the left side of the infield. Base hit. Add on another RBI for Tyler Schultz and add on another run to the Presidents' lead. It's 4-1 here in the eighth. Still nobody out. Runners at first and second. So Schultz has had himself a fine day. Couple of hits. 2 ribbies now.
W&J scoring in 4 of the 8 innings. 1 in the first, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the sixth, 1 in the eighth.
Schultz now with 27 RBIs for the season. As it's Derek McIlvain. And remember, last night we had a tight game between W&J and St. Vincent, 3-2 into the 6th inning before a 9-run 6th put any thoughts of an upset for St. Vincent to bed. And you know, the Presidents, they have that type of firepower.
It was a double by Derek McIlvain that kind of broke that one open, double down the right field line. Here he's showing bunt and takes a strike, but anything into a gap here, if it plates a couple of runs, you might put this one to bed too. 4-1 is the way that O'Neill started this game, and then Jared Baird came in and relieved him last two outs of the 7th inning. Looks like W&J's pitching is going to hold up, or has held up so far this afternoon.
And McIlvain's double last night in the 6th came with the score 4-2, bases loaded, and that double ripped up the first base line, stayed fair, and brought home 2 to make it 6-2. And from that point, the route was on for W&J as they continued to pour it on. 9 runs in that 6th last night. First baseman Craig Heisen ready to crash if McIlvain does put down a bunt here with nobody out and 2 aboard.
If he puts it down, he's going to want it again towards the third base side. Third baseman Miller back behind the baseline, actually, behind the dirt cutout. Now he'll take a step forward, still behind the base. You're bunting in that direction if you're McIlvain.
Shows bunt again. Pulls back at the last moment. Takes downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. McLean at second, Schultz at first. 1 run already in this 8th. 4-1 Presidents. Game 2 of our triple header will start at approximately 3 p.m. St. Vincent and Teal, the first elimination game of the tournament.
About an hour from now.
And again, McLean shows bunt, tries to bunt it, but it's a foul ball around home plate as he is upset at himself, slaps the bat in disgust, and he'll check signs again with Jeff Mountain, the head coach of the Presidents. And the runners very intently eyeing the signs from Coach Mountain as well. 4-1 W&J, nobody out, 2 aboard. As Grant Lewis brings the pitch, runners going. Ground ball, backhand dive play made by Wolfel. He's up to his feet, throw to first. And they retire Derek McIlvain 4-3. Nice play by Wolfel. Runners advance to second and third. They likely would have anyway on that ground ball, but nonetheless, runners at second and third with the runners going on the ground out, going 4-3, 1 away in the inning for Scott Brady.
Yeah, if the runners are stationary, there's still probably only 1 out on that play. Maybe the out's at second base instead of first, but still only 1 out on the play, so you might have traded an out at first for an out at second, or an out at second for an out at first by having the runners in motion. So 1 out, second and third for the Presidents. Thomas Moore, you'd think the infield would want to creep in here, and they are.
And Popham, the catcher for the Saints, will come out and talk with Lewis.
Outfield relatively shallow, especially in left field. Hanley very shallow for Brady, and now we're going to have a visit from the dugout.
And out comes Jeff Hetzer, the head coach of the Thomas More Saints, and they'll bring the entire infield in. And his pitcher, Grant Lewis, has had a fine day today, and we mentioned the strength, really the pitching staff strength of Thomas More, but also their bullpen strength. And see when Coach Hetzer will pull the trigger on that as to who he will bring out of the pen. We saw Ronker loosening up earlier on in this game. And there's a right-hander right now up and throwing in the bullpen, but no move to the pen yet, as Hetzer with confidence in Lewis to work out of another jam. He's done it all day long, so why not again? Runners at second and third with 1 out for W&J in this top of the 8th. RBI single by Schultz has scored Parrish in this inning. And Scott Brady, who's 0 for 3, due up next. Infield pulled in for Thomas More. Waiting on deck is the number 9 hitter, Michael Ruffing, and we're going to have an intentional walk.
Looks like he's got Etscheid throwing down there in the pen. I don't know if you want to fire that bullet, a 4-1 game, knowing that you might have to come back later today.
And it looks like Ronker is also, he's up. I'm not sure if he's throwing, but it looks like Ronker is throwing as well. So the 2 main men out of the pen for Thomas More up and throwing right now. Ball 1 intentionally issued. So the Thomas More Saints going to load them up here for the W&J Presidents. Put force outs at all the bases and face the number 9 hitter, Michael Ruffing, unless the Presidents want a pinch hitter. But Ruffing already has come through with a 2-out RBI single today. The intentional walk complete. And it will be Ruffing who will head toward the batter's box. Bases loaded, 1 out. Ruffing is 1 for 2 today with that 2-out RBI single in the 6th. And here comes Hetzer, so that will be it for Grant Lewis. So he issues the intentional walk. That'll be the last batter he faces in Scott Brady. But a fine afternoon for Grant Lewis, that's for sure, as his day is done. So 7 1/3 for Lewis today, as he will give way to one of those two main men, either Ronker or Etchine. We'll see who it is out of the pen. But Grant Lewis, 7 1/3 today for the Thomas More Saints. Having allowed 8 hits, 4 runs to this point. Of course, is still responsible for all 3 on the base paths. 5 strikeouts for Lewis. And 1 walk. That would be the intentional walk that he just issued before bidding his final batter goodbye. So Grant Lewis out of the game, and into the contest is Thomas More right-hander Andy Ronker. In 14 appearances this year, he's 2-2 with a 2.19 ERA. 2 saves to his credit in 24 2/3 innings. Has allowed 24 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned, with 4 walks and 11 strikeouts. So Andy Ronker looking for a big out or 2. If he can get one on, or actually if he can get 2 outs on 1 pitch, he'd be okay with that. Or on the same pitch, if you will, as he has the bases loaded, 1 out, and the number 9 hitter Michael Ruffing due up. Game 2 will feature St. Vincent and Teal in our first elimination game of the tournament, coming up at 3 p.m. And Game 3 of our triple header today, opponents to be determined. And again, we've been closely watching the radar, as has PAC Commissioner Joe Onderco, and weather has been clear so far for this one, but
how's that looking over there? Is it still clear?
Scattered storms headed in this direction, but they're still in West Virginia and Ohio to this point.
That's one of the nice things about having a facility like this, a turf field. Even if it does rain, it won't compromise the field downpour or, of course, a thunderstorm.
Pulled all the way in, including the middle infielders. Despite 1 out, bases loaded.
Middle infielders in with 1 out. Everybody making sure you have to get that out at home. Can't afford to give up another run.
Ronker's first pitch, pop fly to left. This may be deep enough, and into left center field. Hanley makes the catch. Tagging from third is Tagging from third is McLean. He will come in to score it. It's 5-1 W&J. Sac fly RBI for Michael Ruffing, his second ribby of the game. So the number 9 hitter producing for W&J, and makes it a 5-1 game.
Yeah, Ruffing doing his job, getting that 5th run across the plate, and W&J really making hay with those sacrifice flies today. That's the 3rd time they scored a run on the sac fly. 1 to each of the outfielders. Very democratic of them.
Yeah, manufacturing runs. And so runners at first and second. Pitch in the dirt. Kicks away from Popham. Can't find it. Eventually does. Runners advance to second and third. Schultz to third and Brady to second. So they'll gladly accept the extra 90 feet. Scott Liller, 0 for 3, hit by a pitch, and awaits the 1-0 offering from Andy Ronker. Breaking ball, drops into the zone, strike 1. Ronker takes a look at the runner at third, brings the 1-1 pitch, fouled straight back by Liller. Now a 1-2 count. Now, of the 5 runs scored today by the Presidents, as Justin mentioned, 3 of the 5 have come home on sacrifice flies. 2 RBI singles, 1 by Ruffing and 1 by Tyler Schultz earlier this inning. 1-2 pitch, Liller on the curveball, bounces it foul third base way. Andy Ronker out of the bullpen. Trying to limit this to a 2-run innings, and it's another hit here. Could be more than enough. And a fly ball loop toward shallow right will get beyond the leaping glove of Wolfel. Base hit, one in to score, another being waved around, and this throw will squirt through Popham. No play at the plate, is now headed to second is Liller, so no tag attempt there. Popham could not play that rolling throw from right fielder Ryan Darner. 2 in for the Presidents on the single by Liller, and advances the second on the air. So Liller comes through with a 2-out base hit, and now the Presidents with a 7-1 lead.
Well, just like yesterday, W&J adding to an inning where they've already scored runs, here getting more outs with 2 runs, and nice 2-run single, and then Liller moving up to first, or from first, on the throw home.
DJ Mahalski takes a curve on the outside corner for a strike. Mahalski singled and scored in the first inning. He's 1 for 3. Presidents now with a 4-run inning, lead at 7-1 here in the 8th. So Ronker could not limit the damage in this frame as the 0-1 clubbed into left field. Base hit for Mahalski, and that'll roll all the way to the fence. Liller trots home easily as chugging into second base. Standing up is Mahalski. RBI double, and it's now 8-1 W&J.
And W&J with a stranglehold on this game now, playing their 5th run of the inning. Now have 10 hits total, and took a while for the offense to really wake up. They've been scoring a run here, a run there, and here's the big inning that they had yesterday, a 5-spot in the 8th.
Number 9 hitter of the inning. The 9th hitter of the inning, Josh Stanish, 1 for 4. Takes a fastball up and away, ball 1. Stanish singled back in the first.
They had a couple of frustrating last few at-bats. Thomas More really has been working him away, and Lewis, the lefty, throwing that curveball off the plate, getting Stanish to chase a bunch of pitches. Here he gets the right-hander Ronker to face and drops in a breaking ball for strike 1.
Curveball makes it a 1-1 count. 8-1 W&J, top of the 8th. Mahalski at second. And Ronker still looking for the final out of the frame. 1-1. 2-hopper foul. First base side toward the President's dugout. Ayers started this inning, an E5 on Travis Miller. And big innings always seem to start on either an error or a walk. This time an error. Starts it off 1-2, hard 1-hopper to second. On one knee played by Wolfel, up to his feet, throw to first. That ends the inning. But 9 come to the plate for W&J in the 8th. And 5 come home. The score after 7.5, it's W&J 8, Thomas More 1. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Vigigroup, a multifaceted graphic designs company that has been producing great designs since 1999, offering creative services like branding, new media, illustration, exhibitions, advertising, direct mail, and annual reports. Everything Vigigroup does is focused on producing outstanding design and service. For a design consultation, email Vigigroup at info@vigigroup.net. Good things come in small packages, and we do big things.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden...
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
Don't wait. Call 911 immediately.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Presidents with an 8-1 lead over Thomas More. In the bottom of the 8th, Ryan Darner, Cody Macon, and Craig Heisen will come to bat. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters is Jared Baird, the reliever, left-hander for the Presidents, will continue for his second inning of relief. Got the final 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Gets a foul ball, strike 1 on Darner. Now wondering where, if and when this game would potentially swing, and a couple of moments in the 5th inning where it looked like it could swing Thomas Moore's direction. Count 1-1 right now on Darner. At least for the time being, it looks with the 8-1 lead that the Presidents have swung things from the bottom of the 7th into the top of the 8th. 1-1 fouled away again by Darner for strike 2. Baird came in with runners at 2nd and 3rd. And
after both teams really having chances to take over the game, it was W&J. It looked like W&J in the 5th inning when they had bases loaded and nobody out. Then it looked like Thomas More was set to kind of counterpunch there in that 7th. They had 2nd and 3rd, 1 out after a sacrifice, but neither inning resulted in any runs for either side. And Thomas More was hanging around. You kind of got the feeling almost that it was going to be their inning. They were going to get that big inning because their bats have been so quiet today. But W&J pitching first, Brian O'Neill, and Jared Baird at the end of the 7th coming in very strong in relief, and W&J responding with that big 8th inning.
Now a full count on Darner, fouls it out of play once again. So battling, since having 2 strikes on him, anything near the plate, he's clubbed out of play.
This game has kind of resembled Thomas Moore's fortunes in last year's tournament, too. Just 1 run, several opportunities to plate some runners. Just haven't been able to get a timely hit.
Another foul ball by Darner. Probably hear that one off the pole holding up the netting in front of us.
That one actually hit both poles. That went double post and then out.
Jared Baird in relief for W&J against Ryan Darner. Refuses to be retired in this AB. Bottom of the 8th, 8-1 W&J. Darner hit by the pitch on the left arm. Hit batsman starts the bottom of the 8th. Cody Macon doubled and scored in the 4th. Part of a 1-for-3 day so far.
Number 10, Cody Macon.
And as you talked about earlier on in this broadcast, Darner and Macon still without an RBI in this championship tournament. Second game of the tournament for Thomas More. And another batter plunked, something very off-speed from Baird. And it lightly plunks Macon, runners at 1st and 2nd. And now catcher Ronnie Parrish and first baseman Tyler Schultz will come out to the mound to talk with Baird.
Yeah, certainly no intent on either of those pitches. Darner plunked after fouling off a couple pitches on 3-2, and then that one, I don't know if that one would have registered on the radar gun. Something floating in, off speed, looking like a breaking ball. It just didn't break and found the back of Cody Macon.
Yeah, Macon brushed it off like a fly and takes first base. As Craig Heisen watches a fastball up out of the zone for ball 1.
That one would have registered. A lot of pop on that fastball, but breaking ball just kind of fluttered in, didn't break a whole lot.
1-0. High fly ball to left toward the line goes McIlvain. Fighting the sky, finds it, makes the catch. 1 out, runners stay put at 1st and 2nd. And the backtrack as well, and not to discredit the velocity of Baird, he really pumped it up when he got the final out in the 7th inning with a strikeout of Jason Handley. He had that one humming, but...
oh, yeah, you sent that to commercial. We both looked at each other. Wow, a lot behind that pitch. He definitely reared back and get that punch out.
And clearly on that at-bat against Macon, something off speed that just didn't come out of his hand right with the grip, and lightly plunking Macon as, again, he brushed it off like a fly, taking first base. And 1 out right now for Travis Miller with 2 aboard, takes ball 1. Miller 0 for 3, including a 6-4-3 double play ball he hit into in the 6th. And a chopper foul third base side. Eight runs on 10 hits for the Presidents, 1 run on 5 hits, 4 errors for Thomas More. Baird takes a look at the runners, brings to the plate. 1-1 in the dirt. It hits the foot of Travis Miller, the 3rd hit batsman of the inning. Bases are loaded, and out comes Jeff Mountain.
Another breaking ball that got away from him. Ended up bouncing and hitting the foot, or maybe just directly off the top of the foot. Hard to tell from where I was sitting. I had to look through a couple of people, but either way, definitely struck Miller, and Well, the bases have been loaded full on 3-hit batters.
And after a 5-run top of the 8th inning, this is exactly not what Coach Jeff Mountain wants to see.
No, you're
Gift base runners.
Yeah, you're looking for strikes out of your pitcher, and definitely don't want to load the bases to give him free passes. You're just working yourself into danger and asking for a Thomas More rally. Bases loaded, 1 out. Edscheid about to stand in here.
And Edscheid, as you mentioned during his last at-bat in the 7th inning, no slouch at the plate. He's 1 for 2 today, plus a walk. Edscheid hitting over 400 on the season. Not a lot of RBIs, but a chance to add to that tally with the bases filled here with Saints. Takes a fastball low, ball 1.
Entering the tournament 0 for 1 with the bases loaded this year is Edscheid, but like most hitters, he hits better with runners on base.
1-0, fastball, inside part of the plate for a strike.
Average of more than 150 points more in limited at bat still, but definitely a higher average with runners on base.
1-1, bounding ball foul, third base side. Barehand attempt by Jeff Hetzer.
Got a glove on it, but it kicked past him. He made one earlier in the inning, so we'll give him a pass on that one.
8-1 Presidents, Saints threatening in the bottom of the 8th. Bases loaded, 1-2, skied into shallow right. In comes Stanish. And makes the grab, 2 outs. So Baird battles back, gets a shallow pop fly to right. Keeps the bases loaded now with 2 down for Marcus Wolfel.
Darner bluffed from third, but ball much too shallow, and Stanish, very good arm in right field too, just in case. He didn't even pump. He knew that Darner wasn't going to run on that. Just lobbed it back into the infield. So now 2 outs for the Saints. 1 more out to get if you're the Presidents.
Wolfel, big cut, swing and a miss, strike 1. Wolfel 0 for 2 with a walk in the 7th. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Baird deals, and a foul ball. And Baird now in command 0-2. So after hitting the bases loaded, 3 hit by pitches, fills them up for the Saints. Darner, Macon, and Miller all aboard.
Sometimes all it takes is a trip out to the mound from your coach asking you what's wrong.
0-2, fouled away.
Or maybe what's the matter with you, or if you
yeah,
hit one more guy, you're coming out of the game.
I was going to say, asking him what's wrong is
telling him what he needs to do.
It's a fun way to put it. Well, apparently, whatever Jeff Mountain told Baird, he is listening. 0-2, fastball just misses outside, ball 1.
I don't know if you can have a pleasant conversation with the head coach after hitting the bases loaded or walking the bases loaded.
1-2, another pop-up called for by second baseman Liller. Backpedaling, he'll give way to Stanish, who hustles in to make the catch. And that ends the inning. Bases left loaded for the Saints. After 8, the score, W&J 8, Thomas More 1. You are listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just for guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this.
There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAt Productions. TimeAt Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeatproductions.com.
We return to Ross Memorial Park. It is 8-1 W&J over the Thomas More Saints. 8 runs on 10 hits, 1 error for the Presidents, 1 run on 5 hits and 4 errors for Thomas Moore. And runners left on base, 10 for the Saints today, 7 for the Presidents. We'll break that down here more closely in just a moment as Ronnie Parrish takes ball 1 from Andy Ronker here to start the 9th. Parrish began the 8th inning, reaching on an error, later scored a run in the 8th, takes 1 in the dirt for ball 2. Since the Presidents left the bases loaded in the 5th inning, and that situation started with the bases loaded, nobody out, since that point, the Presidents have left only 1 runner on base and have scored 6 runs. The Saints, meanwhile, as we've said, have left 10 on base throughout this contest. 2-0 pitch, a called strike to Parrish. So the woes with runners on base to start for the Presidents have given way to runs scored as they have come through a couple of big 2-out base hits. One a 2-out RBI single in the 6th inning by Ruffing. Pitch up and into Parrish for ball 3. Almost brushed his elbow,
He almost brushed that ball with his elbow, kind of stuck it up there a little bit, looking to get hit.
And then we had another big 2-out base hit, a 2-run single by Scott Liller. That opened things up in the 8th inning, followed by an RBI double by DJ Mahalski, also with 2 outs. A 3-1 call to strike, now full count to Parrish here in the 9th. 8-1 W&J, 3-2 from Ronker. Good curveball, pulled foul, third base side.
W&J just looking for some kind of insurance, but bottom of the 9th, they'll be 3 outs away from reaching that championship game and being done with action today, which is a big deal, I think, if you're W&J. You're looking to get there and chew up your pitching on the way.
Payoff pitch low and away on the fastball. Ball 4, leadoff walk for Parrish. And winning game 1, the coaches for all teams would agree, so important. Winning that first game in day 1, but then if you can get to this point, as these two teams have in the first game of day 2, I'd love to win that one as well, so you can kind of breeze in to the championship day.
You don't want to have to play 2 games on Saturday. And I mean, if you have to play 2 games on Sunday for the championship, so be it, because obviously the loser to win it has to win the first game and the second game, being a double elimination, so they have to sweep in that championship game. But you really don't want to end up having to play 5 games in the tournament. It just saves you a pitcher, basically. Obviously, when you get to the end, you know it's the end, so you can kind of eke out an extra inning here or there. But it chews up pitchers if you play more than 1 game, especially those doubleheaders on that second day of the tournament action that we're in right now.
Pitch well in the dirt in front of home plate. Kicks off the equipment of Popham and moving to second. Wild pitch. Ronnie Parrish moves 90 feet as Kyle McLean with a 2-0 count. That one hit about 55 feet.
That one almost hit on the outside that dirt circle, almost on the turf. Came up a little bit short. Tough to handle those pitches with so much spin on them when they bounce so far in front of the plate. Never know where they're going to hop to.
Chris Auer headed out to the bullpen for Thomas Moore, as Andy Ronker has been reliable but struggling in his outing today here against the Presidents. Was unable to help out his starter. Grant Lewis is some inherited runners came in to score, and Jeff Hetzer now wants to come out and check on Ronker. This is an injury visit to the mound as he brings out his athletic trainer, and the home plate umpire, Chris Stump, will join in on the conversation.
Didn't notice really anything. Did you see
did
anything? I don't know what the problem is right now. Looking at his pitching arm, maybe his elbow, moving it around a little bit.
Something did not appear right, evidently. And Jeff Hetzer may go to the bullpen right now rather than risk anything more here with Ronker. And one of your better pitchers in Hetzer, he's already pointing out to the bullpen, saying, don't even bother warming up out there. Just come over here because you're in next.
He threw probably 3 or 4 pitches out there, so he'll have more than the allotted time to loosen up. Ronker gets a hand as he exits the game, walk into the dugout with the trainer. So hopefully everything's okay structurally for him, just maybe a little tightness or something.
So Chris Auer will come out of the bullpen after just about 2 or 3 pitches out of the pen. And because this is an injury exchange, he will have more, as Justin said, more than your regular allotted time to warm up once visiting the in-game mound. So he'll have some extra time to loosen up. And with that, we're going to take a break as it is in the top of the ninth inning. We are 8-1, Presidents leading over the Thomas More Saints. And we'll pause for a timeout. We'll be back on the PAC Sports Network. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
The Washington Wild Things open a brand new season of Frontier League Baseball on May 17th and play their home opener on Friday, May 24th, when the Wild Things welcome the Southern Illinois Miners to Consol Energy Park. The 2013 season boasts plenty of fun for the family, including Thirsty Thursdays, fireworks on Fridays, and special giveaways throughout the summer. Not to mention the Frontier League All-Star Game on July 17th. For tickets, call 866-456-WILD. That's 866-456-WILD.
Vigigroup, a multifaceted graphic designs company that has been producing great designs since 1999, offering creative services like branding, new media, illustration, exhibitions, advertising, direct mail, and annual reports. Everything Vigigroup does is focused on producing outstanding design and service. For a design consultation, email Vigigroup at info@vigigroup.net. Good things come in small packages, and we do big things.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden...
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
Don't wait. Call 911 immediately.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Back at Ross Memorial Park, top of the ninth inning, is we have a pitching change. And again, Chris Auer will be the new pitcher for the Thomas More Saints. An injury situation where Andy Ronker checks out after walking the first batter, and then a wild pitch moves Ronnie Parrish to second. So it's a 2-0 count for Kyle McLean as Chris Auer will inherit that count. And the totals on Auer this season, 6 appearances, no wins or losses, a 3.68 ERA. In 7 1/3 innings, has allowed 7 hits, 3 runs all earned with 5 walks and 6 strikeouts.
Andy Ronker, who exited this game with an injury, 2/3 of an inning, a couple of hits, 1 earned run, and a walk. And like Randy was saying, they're responsible for that runner on second base.
So left-hander Auer brings the 2-0. Good breaking ball, drops in the zone for a strike.
Real good breaking ball, especially with the motion that he has. Kind of a quick motion to home, and then ball just floating out of his hand, breaking sharply downward.
Kicking the 2-1, another breaking ball, and on 2 hops, backhanded by Miller at third, throw across the diamond, is off the mark, trying for a swipe tag. The ball pops out of the glove of first baseman Heisen, and runners safe at first and third. Parrish waiting on that until eventually moving over to third, so it's a base hit for McLean, and an E5 allows Parrish over to third. Chance to add on some more here for Tyler Schultz. W&J already on top 8-1. Fastball, outside edge for a strike. Also, more pitching lines. Grant Lewis, the starter for Thomas More, 7 1/3 innings today. Gives up 8 hits, 7 runs, 2 earned, 5 strikeouts and a walk. And Brian O'Neill, the starter for the Presidents, 6 1/3. Gives up 5 hits, 1 run, earned, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. 0-1, call the ball. 1 ball, 1 strike on Tyler Schultz. 1-1, outside to the right-handed hitter. W&J trying to ice this one with a comfortable lead. They can really ease back with some more runs across the plate in this ninth inning. 2-1 pitch outside, ball 3. Chris Auer behind on Schultz. Parrish at third, McLean at first.
Nobody else in the pen. It's going to be up to Auer to get these 3 outs.
Three-one. Auer deals low. Ball 4. Bases loaded. Walk, single, and walk as I'm loaded. Derek McIlvain, 0 for 3 with a sacrifice bunt to his credit. Takes low and in, ball 1. McIlvain, as we mentioned earlier on in the broadcast, had a bases-loaded 2-run double in last night's victory over the St. Vincent Bearcats, part of a big 9-run inning, and that was the bust-out hit in the frame that really changed the fortunes toward W&J. 1-0 pitch from Auer, lefty versus lefty here. Strike on the inside edge. Looked like a changeup there from Auer. Took something off the pitch. McIlvain just watches it for a strike. Parrish, McLean, and Schultz all aboard for the Presidents. 1-1. Breaking ball well up and away. Auer right now trying to find his rhythm. Doesn't quite look comfortable at this point on the hill here in relief. Sometimes that's when you come out for an injured pitcher, it's hard to, for some reason, you see that player who enters in relief struggle a little bit in trying to find that rhythm. 2-1 pitch and a fly ball by McIlvain into shallow right. Nice diving catch made by Darner, but tagging from third and scoring is Parrish. It's 9-1 Presidents. Ends up being a sacrifice fly, but nicely done by Darner. Good diving catch in right center.
Yeah, if he doesn't catch that, that's at least 3 runs. That goes all the way to the wall. He's on the ground. McIlvain is running for an awfully long time, but at least 3 of those runners would have came around to score. McIlvain might have had a shot to score himself if he doesn't come up with that ball. Great job to smother that, to get it in the air. Record that first out for the Saints.
Scott Brady, 0 for 3, was intentionally walked in the 8th and scored. Runners at the corners with 1 out, and Thomas Moore. They're going to appeal Parrish at third. And safe is the call from Brad Swanson, the third base umpire. Parrish tagging on that sacrifice fly by McIlvain. You want to be sure if you're the Saints.
You're right, too. Coming out of the bullpen, so many pitchers are warm up based on routine, too. And if you're coming in for an injured player, obviously your routine's thrown off, and it's hard to get comfortable. They allow you as much time as you want to warm up, but some pitchers need 10, 15 minutes to warm up sometimes. Sometimes you just don't do that when you come into a game, and you're not really loose. You've been sitting around since you warmed up before the game, so you've thrown maybe, well, in the case of Auer, he threw probably 3 or 4 pitches out in the bullpen. So, yeah, it's a tough position to come in, especially with runners on base, and you're just looking for strikes to let your defense basically help you out here in this situation.
First 2 pitches are called strikes to Scott Brady.
He's doing a better job of throwing strikes his last 2 pitches. Don't fall behind hitters. Just looking to let them hit it into your defense.
0-2. This one jams Brady into shallow left center. Could be trouble. Nice running grab made by Hanley. Runner tags from third. Throw to the plate. Not in time on 1 hop. McLean trots home from third. And another sacrifice fly for the Presidents. It's 10-1 W&J. 2 outs in the inning. Schultz remains at first. That is now 5 sacrifice flies by the Presidents today.
I wonder what the school record for sacrifice flies is in a game. I'm sure there's an SID that could tell us that.
I'm sure there might be one on hand. Maybe even 2. Michael Ruffing takes a breaking ball for a strike. Ruffing had one of the sacrifice flies collected today by the Presidents. Sacrifice to left in the 8th. Oh, one pitch popped away. Now that fly ball hit by Brady, it had the look of trouble for Thomas Moore as it was looping toward shallow left center, but Hanley made the nice running catch. But then as he was moving toward his left, had to kind of reset to put on the throw, and McLean ends up trotting home as the throw home bounced in on a hop to Ronnie Parrish, to Brad Popham, rather, the catcher for the Saints. And Parrish, who scored before McLean, and then McLean trots home for the second run of the inning. Here's a pop fly to shallow center, caught by shortstop David Kennett. That ends the frame. Presidents add on some insurance before the bottom of the ninth inning. 2 runs on 1 hit, 2 more sacrifice flies for W&J. We head to the bottom of the ninth. The score, Presidents 10, Saints 1. You are listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just for guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this.
There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
Bottom of the ninth, Brad Popham leads off for Thomas Moore. It's a 10-1 Presidents lead as Baird will try to close this one out in his 3rd inning of relief for the Presidents. Brings strike 1 to Popham. Popham is 0 for 1, walked in the 5th, put down a sacrifice bunt in the 7th. Swing and a miss by Popham. Now behind 0-2. And Baird, the southpaw, with the 0-2. Fouled away. Closely watching the radar. Game 2, obviously by the length of the first game today, will not start on time at 3 o'clock. Swing and a miss on the 0-2 pitch. Popham down on strikes, and that is the 2nd strikeout for Baird in relief. 1 down in the bottom of the ninth.
You were talking about the sacrifice flies in this game. W&J has 5 of them and actually tied a Division III record for sacrifice flies in a game.
Wow. 0-2. First pitch, rather, to Kennett. We have 1 out in the bottom of the ninth inning. First pitch up and away for ball 1. And the next pitch from Baird, called a strike at the knees. Evens things up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bases are empty with 1 away for David Kennett. He's 0 for 3. Kennett takes a breaking ball on the outside corner, and now behind 1-2. So Baird, after hitting 3 men in the 8th inning, was able to wiggle out of that, leaving the bases loaded, and he's been back on point. Ground ball 2, Hopper to 3rd. McLean to his left, fields it, throw in time with that hard toss from McLean, and it's 2 outs now of the ninth. So Division III record tied today by the W&J Presidents. 5 sacrifice flies.
Common knowledge now. 5 sacrifice flies in a game is Division III record.
And as you put it earlier, that was when it was just 3 sacrifice flies. You said very democratic by the Presidents today. I like that. That did not go unnoticed, by the way. I did appreciate that.
Good. First time for everything.
That I appreciated something you said?
Yes.
Oh. Jason Handley on the 0-1 takes in the dirt for a ball.
Don't worry, we got 2 more games today. There's still time for more.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. 1-1 slow roller foul, third base side. Presidents open things up from the bottom of the 7th into the top of the 8th. Baird picked up a couple of big outs with runners at 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. to end a situation, and the Presidents scored 5 in the 8th. Here Baird plays a chopper left side of the infield, hard throw to first, and that retires the side and ends the ball game. The W&J Presidents advance to championship day at the PAC tournament with a 10-1 victory over the Thomas More Saints. The Saints will be in action again later today, weather pending, for Game 3 scheduled for 6 p.m. So stay tuned to the PAC Sports Network as well as the PAC website, as we'll have all the updated information as far as scores and game times, and also if rain plays a factor, what might happen after that. But 1-2-3 inning for Jared Baird, the final out going 1-3. Nice play by Baird off the mound to retire Jason Handley to end the ball game. Again, your final 10-1 W&J. We'll take a break and wrap this one up. You're listening to the PAC Baseball Championships, brought to you by Sport Clips.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help. Call us at 1-877-889-0965. That number, 877-889-0965. Or visit us online at triple.com and on Facebook.
Welcome back to Ross Memorial Park. Final in Game 1 for today's triple header, scheduled at Ross Memorial Park in this PAC Baseball Championships. 10-1 the score, W&J taking down the Thomas More Saints. And this is how it all went down. In the first inning, W&J struck for a run. A single by DJ Mahalski, a single by Josh Stanish, and a follow-up single by Ronnie Parrish loaded up the bases. In the first of 5 sacrifice flies on the day, Kyle McLean with a sac fly scored Mahalski, and it was 1-0 Presidents. W&J upped it to a 2-0 lead. Ronnie Parrish reached on an error and eventually in the frame came home on a sac fly by Tyler Schultz. It was 2-0 W&J. Thomas More would get that run back, though, in the bottom of the 4th inning. Leadoff double by Macon. He moved to third on a wild pitch and scored on a RBI ground out by Craig Heisen, and the game was cut to 2-1. Presidents had a chance in the 5th inning to open things up. They had the bases loaded with nobody out. Ruffing, Liller, and Mahalski, the base runners. And then Grant Lewis, the starter for Thomas More, was able to buckle down and come up with back-to-back strikeouts of Josh Stanish and Ronnie Parrish, and then a bounce out on a great diving play by second baseman Marcus Wolfel to end the inning. Bases left loaded. It was still a 2-1 contest. But the Presidents would get a run in the 6th. A single by Tyler Schultz. Sac bunt moved him to second. Scott Brady with a ground out advanced Schultz to third. Michael Ruffing then with a 2-out RBI single made it 3-1 W&J. And that was a big 2-out base hit at that time. Moved to the bottom of the 7th. Thomas More building up a threat. Leadoff walk to David Etchide. Wild pitch moved him to second. Follow-up walk by Marcus Wolfel. Had 2 aboard. Sac bunt by Brad Popham. Had runners at second and third with 1 out. Brian O'Neill, the starter for the Presidents, would check out. Reliever Jared Baird enters, and he leaves the Saints with 2 on board as David Kennett popped up to short, and Jason Handley with a strikeout ended that frame on a Jared Baird heater. And the Thomas More Saints' best threat to tie this one up was left awry. 3-1 W&J held on to their lead and then would open the game up with a 5-run 8th inning. Sacrifice fly by Michael Ruffing included in that frame. RBI single by Tyler Schultz, as well as a 2-run single by Scott Liller and an RBI double by DJ Mahalski, all part of that inning. And that upped it at that point to an 8-1 score. And then the Presidents tacked on 2 more for insurance in the 9th with sacrifice flies by Derek McIlvain and Scott Brady to bring it to a 10-1 final. And again, the 5 sacrifice flies ties a Division III record in a single game. So impressive showing for W&J from that aspect in terms of record keeping, but more importantly, the Presidents move on to championship day tomorrow with no losses on their mark. So the ball is in their court, so to speak, come tomorrow for championship day as they await their opponent. Thomas More will play in Game 3 of today's action, at least as regularly scheduled, weather permitting. And we'll go from there. Game 2 will be upcoming in about 25 minutes, St. Vincent and Teal.
Yeah, and W&J outscoring their opponents 24-4 in their 2 wins. Teal and St. Vincent out here, not ready to get started, but W&J just rolling along right now. They're in the championship game for tomorrow, and Thomas More is going to have to stick around. And if we do play that 3rd game today, they get the winner of this game. Teal, St. Vincent, both teams trying to bounce back from wins yesterday. So looking to get a win under their belt, and they'll face Thomas More in the nightcap. Still a lot of baseball still to be played. No teams eliminated yet. 3 of these teams have a loss. W&J, like we mentioned, is into the championship round, but any of these teams could be the one to face them.
So, again, the Presidents 10-1 victors over the Thomas More Saints. And up next, our first elimination game, about 25 minutes away, the St. Vincent Bearcats and the Teal Tomcats. So we'll have that one coming up as the Presidents, again, advance to championship day with their 10-1 victory over the Saints. Saints still alive. They'll be in Game 3 as regularly scheduled later on this evening. For my partner, Justin Pyles, I'm Randy Gore. We'll talk to you again soon for Game 2 on the PAC Sports Network.